Oh, yeah, babies. You know what night it is. You know what time it is. That's right. We've got some current events going on, grabbing some pussy right around here. And Ted Jotte going to be joining us as well, the original gangsta right up in that house, man. I'll tell you what, because the Friday night Super Show, babies, starts right now.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
You didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
The Friday Night Super Show.
Oh, hell yeah. We're going back.
You damn right. Tag team champs, bitches. The motherfucking Friday Night Super Show. Number one in the world, baby. Hey, enough of the goddamn horse shit. Let's start the show.
Oh, yeah, baby. You know what night it is. You know what time it is. That's right. The Friday Night Super Show is back here on the air. Contrary to popular belief, we have not died or fallen off the face of the earth, and God has not struck us down. I am the mouth laughing and scratching at you right here, the last voice of Your Liberty Network, joined by my tag team partner, my brother from another mother. There is no other Mr. Friday Night raging like a mother, Dennis Ford. How in the fuck is you doing tonight, brother?
Well, like I told you before the show, tonight's probably a rare occasion because I'm actually in a good mood here tonight. So maybe not doing a lot of raging tonight, but you know,
well, I'm sure.
A few things, but
I'm sure at some point in time we'll piss you off enough to start bitching.
Yeah, there's something that'll trigger me. You know, I'll get triggered and I'll go off. But just on top of the show, I don't know if it's a rare occurrence these days, but you know, I'm actually in a good mood here tonight, and I'm happy to be here as always on the Friday Night Super Show. You know, we do what we do on Friday nights, so you know, people know where to find us. You know, they know where to go every Friday night, 9 p.m. You know, we have a big show here tonight that we'll talk about here in a minute. But how are you doing, Lee?
Oh, you know me. Man, you know how I do. I spend all week working and slaving, you know, doing the unskinny bop or what have you. And shit, you know, I'm just glad that I make it to another Friday and I get to have this special time where I get to sit down with Dennis Ford and some great people to discuss these current events going on, because apparently, you know, and I might have missed this, you know, in these past, you know, 700 some fucking shows that we've done. And yeah, it's getting around that number, you know, as far as, you know, complete shows that we've been either guests or hosts of, getting close to about 700.
More than that.
You know, it was. I'm just doing the estimative job number here, kids, because it was
about two of the All-Stars.
Personally, it was 300 2 years ago. So I've got to think that, you know, we're at least up to 700. You know, with multiple shows and all that other fun stuff.
Yeah, but that's besides the point. What were you saying?
Oh, I totally lost my train of fucking thought now. I started doing math in my head. It's like, nope, wipe the slate clean. You can only handle one problem at a time on Fridays. No, kids. I work long, and it's a privilege for me every Friday night to come and be a part of the show and do the show with Dennis Ford and try to react to all your comments. Your get people in here. Zach Odom is sitting here talking about how he's getting a tattoo on his leg. I know it's a picture of me, just so you can look down at that hairy calf and jerk off, each and every night. Because, hey,
now you were saying you must have missed something in the news, Lee. But before you get into that, there's a lot going on in the news with politics and all the garbage that we normally deal with. But it is a pleasure. I don't want to make the show about myself. I'm working on my own show where I'm going to be talking about myself on my own show. But this show really doesn't have that much. It's half of me, but it's not about me, and that's where I kind of lost myself in the last month or so. I tried to just throw everything by the wayside, and this show deserves better, and so do you, Lee Peter. So I'm going to be working on that. Anybody out there, I wouldn't expect them. We can work out things or whatever, but I'm sure they're like me. Somebody does something, then you move on, and that's what it is at the end of the day. But thank God Lee Peter stuck around.
And kids, guess what? That's about the closest you're going to get to an apology from Mr. Friday Night this week. So, take it, run with it, celebrate it, dance in the flowery tree with it, because I know I'm going to after the show. Buck naked.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's we all have our moments where we get, really, I don't know, I can't explain to people. It's just a really unusual time in my life. So I'm dealing with a lot on top of, like I said, when we do these shows, like I said, we've been doing it for a long time, not to brag or boast or anything, just that, consistently through the years, you can always count on us to be here. Whoever else falls off, whatever it is, if friends throughout the years we don't talk to anymore, you've been here. We've been in the middle of, there's been shit going on with you or shit going on with me, and one of us got drawn into the middle because people are like, what's up with your boy? What's going on with him? Mm-hmm. But it's not about that at the end of the day. This show deserves a level that we bring, and not everybody's going to like me, and not everybody's going to like Lee Peter, and that's fine. I understand that now. And it may be my fault on a lot of it, but you know what?
No. I don't want you to be sitting here feeling too awfully bad about it. I mean, what was done on the show. Shit,
I'm just saying, this show
it's on the
better.
show, and we sometimes we're the bad guy, and sometimes, kids, the shit that you've been doing, like I mentioned earlier, 700 some shows, okay, at least between the two of us, in the last 5 fucking years, all right, 700. That's at least 2 years straight of us doing shows, okay? If we did a show every night for 2 fucking years, that takes a bit out of you, and sometimes you've got to deal with and develop, some different coping mechanisms with it. And I mean, maybe this is a coping mechanism for Dennis. I'm not saying that it is, but guess what? I can only be a nice guy for so long too. And Face Crook actually, brought a point up to me the other day where, it was 2 years ago, a couple days ago, that I put out this big giant rant and told everybody that I knew to fuck off, and you're all a bunch of fucking sheeple. I don't know why I even give 2 fucks about you. Mm-hmm. Because, hey, it happens to your psyche. You wake up, and you can only wake up so many mornings, kids, and look at the disparaging news feed or look at the mainstream media and sit there and go, for fuck's sakes, what am I doing? Am I just getting on the fucking air on Friday nights to fucking verbally masturbate myself? Because, sometimes we were. Not too much anymore, man. We do have a pretty dedicated listening base that keeps on growing each and every week now that they're figuring out where we are since we've made our move. But, hey, we might be doing something right.
That's where I'm going back. That's where I'm coming full circle with everything that I've been going through for the last 4 or 5 months here, is that the new people that are coming to the shows are the people that don't even know us. Mm-hmm. They may have a mutual friend or something, and Lord only knows what these people would say about me or something. You know what I'm saying? But I'm interested in new people coming because I remember that hunger and drive that I had in the first couple of years. I was looking for friends. I was going out sending friend requests and trying to find people.
So I haven't sent a friend request in almost 2 years now. I mean, only if it's somebody that's recommended to me. It's like, hey, look this person up, or somebody that's been on one of our shows, that we've talked to. And, Dude, we're being listened to in Scotland right now.
Yeah.
In Scotland. We've got over across the pond, over in Europe, in Germany, in Sweden, around the fucking planet, man. They seem to like just how we do what we do, like we do how nobody can do. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It's a very unique radio show, not because the two of us created it and we're part of it. It's just very unique. There's nothing else out there like the Friday Night Super Show. I mean, there's other shows, that are.
They
whatever.
try. They try.
Yeah,
I'll give them a big thumbs up for trying, But every now and then,
shit.
you're going to have to look down.
I'm not shit about other shows.
Well, I am, because they're going to have to look down at that little beeper that they carry around the hip, because, I know they still carry beepers. And you know what? I'm going to give it a little call. I'm going to punch in the 316, and that means that the Friday Night Super Show has their ass. And that's the bottom line.
Well, that's what I mean at the end of the day. We talk about this all the time on the shows, but, like I said in the beginning, the drive and the motivation that I had to shatter walls and break down barriers and in activism, let alone whatever I am now. When I first started out, I was Ron Paul, politics, all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore. I learned my lesson. I already knew that, but
and that's one of the things, man. That's one of the things that we learn each and every day. And that's
back then I was really motivated, and then it was like on Christmas, and I didn't get what I wanted on Christmas, so I was like, you know what, I already knew it was this way, and that's what politics is. That's what's funny about watching most of your newsfeed is going to be Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. After the election, people are going to go back to not giving a shit.
Yep.
We already know that.
Straight the fuck up.
They don't give a shit now. They act like they do, but they don't.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I mean, it's getting hard to say, especially this election has been one. I mean, the last couple have been somewhat unpredictable to those of us who weren't aware. Those of us who've been awake, kind of, especially after the Republican National Convention of 2012, we all kind of figured out, it's fucked. It's fixed. Ron Paul has led more people to being anarchists than anyone else in history, and I don't really think that was his intention, but I think he's starting to figure it out too. But these elections and the voting process and everything else, especially with this one being such a showman fucking little kid fight, it's
like two kids in kindergarten, man.
It really is.
They're gonna start throwing shit eventually at each other.
Well, I think, I'm waiting for one of them to shit in one of their hands, and I'm working up a little video skit to bring about something for right before the elections, as to maybe if I was involved in those debates, because I pretty much tell these people shut the fuck up.
Like, please, audience, stop clapping. We have to move on. It's time to shut you up.
Well, because either that or the other two are going to sit there and try and interrupt me, and at some point in time I'm going to get frustrated, walk across the stage, grab their fucking microphone, and chuck it across the fucking audience. All right, now that we don't have anybody else stupid talking, let's get this point out. You
bring up a good point, because I have a friend of mine that's coming back to Virginia. Grew up with him or whatever, but very, very much involved in video and production and all that stuff. So on election day, when that day rolls around, I'm going to be doing some filming and some other things myself. I don't know if you'll be around, Lee, but we talked about this before.
I think I'm going to have to. I think what my work schedule and everything else is working out is after the first week of the month. The first week of the month, I got to be here, man. I've got dedicated work on the first and last days of the month. But I'm thinking it's going to be around the 11th of November that I'll be hitting Virginia.
Either way, I'm not going anywhere.
That's the tentative plan. It might have to change a week or so, from here to there. But it's, that's the tentative plan that I have right now. That's what I was saying. I'm working on a few things, talking to a few people, amongst other projects that are going on. But kids, get ready, because you're going to have a live Friday Night Super Show where me and Dennis Ford are going to be in the same geographical location. All right. Bombs might happen. They
Never
might
been done before.
and hey, I'm going to let the federal government and all. And look, you want to snipe us out? That's the fucking time. All right, we'll be drinking. We'll be having a good time. That's definitely going to happen. But it is what it is, kids. I mean, you've either got to take that certain point in time in your life when you really start to get in and learning about politics and learning about the law and things like that, man. And then you've got to decide, shit, do I want to just turn a blind eye to this stuff and let me just keep on earning that fucking dollar and then, taking care of my family? Or do you want to stand up for your family's future? I mean, it's a hard choice that I had to make, and I had to suffer the fucking consequences for the first couple of years of doing it. With your whole family walking away from you, everything that was right and true in the world and you were fighting for, all of a sudden goes, "You're fucking crazy, old man," and ditches out on you. But you keep doing it.
Your world, the world, that world that you had has been shattered a couple times, and mine's been shattered in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I know where you're coming from. You're trying to rebuild, and you're still rebuilding from years ago.
Yeah, I think maybe it's something that you just end up doing forever. But fuck you, people ain't gonna like me too often much if I got to keep on rebuilding.
I know now how you felt after your pops passed. I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you at the time, and I still don't have the words to tell you. Just like there's no words that you can tell me. But I know that feeling. I know how you feel.
2 fucking bottles of whiskey. That's what I should have
done. But that's another show. That's another show. My point is, like I said, we got to get to talking about our guest here tonight.
Yeah, we've got Ted Jotte coming up here within the next 10 to 12 minutes, man. It's going to be everybody loves when we get Ted on the show because Ted is not afraid to put it out there like it is. I mean, he's got invested experience in this political system. He's seen the dark side of the alley. He's seen the light side of the alley, and in the middle, it's just us sitting there, us, the American people, for the most part, and I like to include us in that every now and then. It helps us identify with the audience a little bit. But us, the American people, are the ones sitting here in the middle, having to take the pole up the keister all the time. And he knows exactly why, just as we know exactly why. And believe me, kids, if you spend at least a little bit of time listening to what Mr. Jotte has said, either on our shows or if you have a personal conversation with him on Facebook, you will your stomach will churn every time you hear the word progressive. I still can't watch those goddamn insurance commercials. I really can't. Because he's fucking right, and that's exactly what they're doing.
That's the thing. Here's there's 2 points I want to make real quick about Ted. Ted Jotte, when I met him years ago, back 2012, whatever it was, he doesn't do a lot of radio. I mean, he may do other radio shows. But essentially, Ted is doing radio because he enjoys what we do and vice versa. He's a very intelligent individual, brings a perspective that a lot of people are not familiar hearing, let alone even entertaining. But he's very good with his words, and he's very good at articulating things that a lot of people can't when it comes to politics and many other things. Politics is just one aspect of what Ted can tell you about. But very intelligent individual.
That's for sure.
I'm thankful that I met him. He's one of the people, all the people, throughout the years, but Ted is one of the people that I can actually really be happy that I met, because if I hadn't met him, I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't have learned a lot of shit by having him on the shows.
Well, dude, Ted Jotte, let's put it right out there, kids. Ted Jotte is one of the few guests that we have on that we will shut the fuck up for.
And that's hard to say for us.
It really is. I'm the mouth. I shoot it off no matter what. But and Dennis Ford and me are the perfect combination, because if one of us ain't talking, then one of us might be dead. That's how that works. Do you ever shut up, boys? No, not when we're awake. Just. I know I had to borrow from that fucking movie that fucked over Deadpool so bad, but still.
Yeah, but either way, like I said, people out there listening, and people that may check out the shows later on, definitely, take a few minutes to listen to what Ted's going to say tonight, because like I said, he's going to break it down in a very unique way that only he can do, and I've never really met anybody that can do that. He deserves his own radio show, and something we've talked about in the past is him doing his own thing.
Oh,
but over the years, like I said, when it comes to my show or the Friday Night Super Show, it's been one of these exclusive guests that you're really not going to get anywhere else. Not because he's extremely popular and doesn't do radio shows. He just comes on our shows because he has a lot of respect for me and Lee and what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa, like I said earlier.
And
So,
it's pretty incredible, to me, to be quite honest, that we get a guy of the stature of Ted Jotte, because this guy
I think
is,
that's why I'm in a good mood tonight. Like I told you before
a
the show, I think
respectful fucking gentleman, and we're just a couple fucking
high
gutter
school
snipes.
I know Ted's going to be on later. Later on. So.
Yeah, we're just a couple of gutter snipes that fucking get on here and get drunk and run our mouths, man. Let's see if we can drag Trip in here real quick. Trip.
Oh, here we go.
Trip, do I got you?
Who is this Trip you speak of?
Oh, come on, Jesse. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Ventura chiming in here for a couple minutes. I do have to clear this line here in just a few minutes, buddy, for our scheduled guest. But how you doing tonight?
Just fine. I'm on my book tour for my new book, The Marijuana Manifesto.
Interesting, The Marijuana Manifesto. What does that entail there, Jess?
Just how the U.S. government's been a sham and has completely derailed hemp production and imprisoned hundreds of thousands upon people of every year.
This is true. Jesse, what steps are you taking actually nowadays to be a part of that?
I don't know. I just write the books and give out the answers to all the questions.
Oh, well, that's good. That's so you're just kind of like Hulk Hogan style in it then.
Yeah, people don't know. Even people, when yesterday, I was on with Joe Rogan and didn't let him get a word in edgewise.
No, I wouldn't let Joe Rogan's get 2 words in edgewise other than handing me a newspaper so I could fall asleep in a bed full of worms.
Other interview I ever do.
Well, Jesse,
people don't know, so I have to tell them.
What would you tell them, Jess? Mr. Governor.
I know.
I suppose
people don't know.
Is that what they're supposed to call you now? Because
the governor,
Mr. Governor.
Oh, well, as you know, I was many things. I was a fighter, a
True.
former Minnesota governor.
True.
A vending machine technician.
True.
A gay clown.
A Navy SEAL.
Navy SEAL. An underwater demolition expert.
This is true, Jess.
I also work Mexican construction at the moment.
Mexican construction. Can you explain that? Is that like real concrete, or is that like they do in America? Because you're hard pressed to get on a concrete crew without being Mexican nowadays in this country. Just saying, Mexican or a roofing crew, because Mexicans will throw a roof up in 30 seconds, man. Shit, I lost my job to fuck Mexican.
I now live in Mexico, so we use all raw materials.
All ramen noodles? What?
Materials.
Raw materials. Okay, I'm sorry, Jess. I thought you said ramen noodles, and that would make sense. Just saying.
I got a question for Jesse before we go any further.
She's going to tell you that you can't even believe that I just said.
That's what I'm looking for.
All right.
The whole Pussygate thing with Trump. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? And grabbing crotches and stuff. What do you think?
Sometimes you have to grab America by the pussy, Dennis.
This is true. This is true. Hey, I'm sorry, ladies. If you're out there and you don't want to be grabbed by the pussy, that means your pussy don't work no more. Just saying.
I'm not jumping on the Trump train just yet, but...
Oh, Jesse, come on. You know that you want to borrow his toupee from time to time, so you don't get accused of being superstar Billy Graham all the time.
You know? Is that 2020, Howard Stern and Jesse Ventura? Are we going to get that?
Oh, hell,
The
my fuck
independents
no.
wouldn't let us run, no matter how much money we raise.
Oh,
tired
so
of it.
you mean that whole dichotomy of, hey kid, you can grow up to be president isn't true?
Not even if you're a former Minnesota governor, Lee.
Not even if you're a fucking former rodeo clown / luchador? What the hell?
Or Navy SEAL, or vending machine technician, or dog catcher.
Yeah, that's not cool, man. I don't like that.
Field hand, which I've also
done on that.
Field hand is an admirable job, man. I've been a field hand before. It ain't fun.
No, it ain't.
No, you are the quote unquote bitch of the crew. Let me tell you.
Chris Kyle has ruined my whole entire career.
It's because Chris Kyle's a fucking bitch. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll be the first one to say it. Maybe I'll be the one out here that says Chris Kyle was nothing more than a little bitch.
Between FEMA coffins and the monster of Easter Island, I'm surprised it's somebody like Chris Kyle that ended up taking me down.
But that's well, if you've got somebody that's going to put a major Hollywood motion picture about you, to propagandize war and murder, then you have that. See, when you did the whole Predator thing and that echoing line through time, I ain't got time to bleed. Fuck, motherfucker. That was a line. That made you sit there and go, shit, war is fucking hell. I don't want to be Jesse Ventura because that's too tough. It's like, shit, man. The dude says, shit, man, you're hit. He's like, I ain't got time to bleed. Standing there holding that 50 cal fucking,
Well, the hippie riffraff hairdo I've been rocking the past 15 or so years.
Totally riffraff.
Well, I'm thinking about growing back the porn stash.
Yeah. At least do that. So then you look like a failed cop.
Holy shit.
Yeah, grow back the porn stash. Keep the back fucking, remnants of your head. And, by all means. Either grow back the porn stash or do a Fu Manchu and say, hey, I'm not the one that said nigger.
Right, yeah. Yeah, do that.
I don't want to rip Hulk Hogan's style off. I've been in enough trouble as it is.
Hulk Hogan ripped your style off, motherfucker. Did you ever look at the son bitch? I mean, I know you ripped off superstar Billy Graham and all that, but, he was a dick. So...
Right. Yeah, I want to bring this up real quick because...
we got Ted Jotte getting ready to call in, so we got to wrap this up here real quick.
WWE banned Hulk Hogan for what he did. I guess it was last year or this year, whatever.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Racial thing that was going on. They banned him. They did a Chris Benoit on him. But recently, some of their promos and shit that they run, you can hear his voice, or you'll see him in the background and shit. So they're kind of like, they know they need Hogan.
Well, the fans threw a big fucking fit, dude.
Macho Man and the rest of them. But this is completely off topic of Hogan and everybody else. I just read it, this morning that The Undertaker can't even get around without crutches now. So is he going to have a match at WrestleMania?
I doubt it.
Against Brock Lesnar.
Well, unless he had some sort of surgery that he's not telling anybody about, it's...
I mean, he is older. Don't get me wrong. But
he's 51.
For me, that's a harsh blow because you're like, damn, for real.
Well,
I thought he was dead there.
had the colon surgery, so what we're going to have is it's going to happen. The match will happen within the hospital, is what I've heard around the campfire. Scalpels and all.
Oh, dude. Can Mick Foley be the referee? No, wait, no, fuck Mick Foley. I want Terry Funk to be the referee because he doesn't give two fucks.
Yeah, get Stone Cold on commentary. That'd be awesome.
No, wait a minute. Fuck Terry Funk. I want Terry Funk to be the inside referee. I want Sabu to be the outside referee. I don't care if there's a ring involved or not. That has to happen.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah,
Sabu has known to bust somebody through a medical gurney from time to time as well. So
I watched
look
Terry
forward to
Funk.
that.
I watched Terry Funk throw Sabu into some ropes of barbed wire, rip his entire bicep open to where Sabu was screaming out to what's his face with the whistle, go get me some tape. I got to tape this shit up. And he fucking tried to play off with Terry just a little bit, and Terry had already had enough at that point in time. And he said, "Get up, you son of a bitch! I don't give a damn what you," and just started punching him literally in the face. It was a great match right there on ECW.
I've seen Cactus Sack throw drunk Terry Funk in an exploding death ring match in Japan.
right.
That
Remember
match
when
was
Nick Foley's hair
classic.
got tore off? Remember that match?
Yep.
Absolutely.
You know?
And you sit there and go, "Wow!"
Bang, bang. That's right. But the interesting thing is that, like I said, WWE is warming up to Hulk Hogan again, and that kind of lets you know that Vince has that thing for Hogan,
Well,
can't do
that
it
and he
wrong,
hates niggers.
apparently.
He hates black people. I don't
Well,
want
that's-
nothing to do with niggers.
That's-
Why do you
that's
think?
up to interpretation of what he said.
Why do you
know?
think for fucking 20-some years, dude, that fucking there's never a black fucking WWE champion? Let's see if we can get Ted in on our group call. Ted Jotte, do we have you there, sir?
You have me here.
I'll be damn. Skype is being so nice to us, man. We got
Yeah,
Trip
it's working
Q
tonight.
and Ted Jotte joining us here this evening on the Friday Night Super Show, man. Ted, how have you been, my friend? It's been way too long.
It's been a long time, and I appreciate you having me on. I hear you guys loud and clear. Great show tonight. Talking about some interesting stuff. I appreciate you having me on. I just thought I'd throw in a few pennies worth of my thoughts, which may or may not mean anything, but
Well, they always mean something to us, man. That's for damn sure.
I'll tell you what, guys, we've got a mess.
It's what people in my neighborhood used to call a grand old clusterfuck, Ted.
Yeah, I've heard the term before. I spent 3 years in the U.S. Army, and I saw quite a few of those cluster fucks. I know what you mean. This whole election is a cluster fuck.
It is.
Is anyone really paying attention to what's going on here? Has anybody paid attention to the last 50 years? I really don't think they have.
No, not at all.
We got Clinton, Trump. They both got the solutions, right? It's either communism or building huge gambling casinos in all the ghettos and hiring all of the unemployed gangbangers. Which one do you want?
Well, we need that in Chicago, Ted. We need that in Chicago. All right. That's all I'm saying.
I'm telling you, we got to do something. And, these people are all filthy rich. Being filthy rich became a criteria for presidency about 50 years ago, and I don't quite get that.
No.
And since then, the corruption, the scandals, the sexual debauchery, it's
Well, before you finish, that, I'm interested in that whole aspect of that because, again, people don't study history. But I want to let you know we have Jesse Ventura hanging out with us too. Hopefully he's still with us. I don't know. But
I told you a couple months
There we
ago
go.
that I was going to throw my hat into the presidential ring right at the last minute. So look, in the next 2 weeks, me and Gary Busey are running together.
Yes.
So we're hoping to take the election by storm.
I mean, I won't vote for you guys because, I'm an anarchist, but
I know you guys
That's
have
awesome.
an interview to get to. Remember, look for us, me and Gary Busey running here in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to make my official announcement, but you heard it here first on the Friday Night Super Show.
thank you, Jesse,
yeah.
man. Ladies and gentlemen, former governor of Minnesota, man, Jesse Ventura, former fighter, vending
gotta
machine
give it up, man.
operator,
Respect for that guy.
Navy SEAL.
You know?
Man, we love you
I'm
to
for
death,
it.
man.
They
Thank
got
you.
my vote, believe me.
Thank
Hell
you
yeah.
very much.
They got my vote all the way.
Well, think about this, right, Ted? At this point, if you think about it, right? I posted about it earlier. The two choices that should give you a glimpse of just how much they really give a shit about all of us as a country and then as Americans. Look at the choices they gave us. They're better off giving us Ronald McDonald and, the king from Burger King. That's what we all want.
No, Ronald McDonald's in hiding, man. He's scared. All them other clown motherfuckers got him fucked up.
People a sense of just how politics work and just how they're like, you know what? Just like everybody else that does their job, they're 9 to 5. Then, when Friday rolls around, they're like, we're cool. We're just gonna hurry up and get out of here. And that's what they're doing with this election. They're like, just give them something, let them think about it. After it's over, they can't do anything about it anyways, and we'll roll with that. And that's what they're doing, because our votes really don't matter, if you want to be honest. And also, in my opinion, the Bilderberg meetings and other things, these elite people have already picked who they want as president. So it's almost funny and sad at the same time. It's really bad. Like Ted said, it's a bad situation. It's very bad. And for people to play into it and be entertained, I understand that. You want to debate, you want to talk about shit. But we all know what's going on here. You have to be a special kind of stupid to not see what's going on right in front of your face. Is all I'm saying.
It's crazy, Dennis. It's crazy. It's more slop for the American citizens to drudge through and stay entertained while these autocrats, they continue planning their next mass execution in some countries with the name that people can't even spell.
Right, Ted, where do you think that money went? Where do you think that $6.5 trillion went?
Mm-hmm.
Just what you were just explaining.
Dennis, we're an empire, but we're not a real smart empire.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not.
At least the governors of ancient Rome, they had the sense to merge entertainment and execution and satisfy the people's need for a very repugnant form of entertainment.
This is
If
true.
we're going to entertain these people, let's do it right. Let's build big arenas and let's get lots of lions like they did in Rome. We're spending...
Yeah, Idiocracy. Friday night, what was that shit called, Lee? Friday night, something. They had a show in this movie. I don't...
In Idiocracy? Oh, man, I've only seen that movie like halfway through once because it got too painful.
Yeah, because it's true.
Yeah.
We're
it was called Friday Night Redemption or something like that, is my point. But
go ahead,
just what
Ted.
you're describing. Yeah, just what you're describing was a Coliseum atmosphere where they had to go in and survive with nothing, basically rocks and
Oh, that was the Hunger Games.
the Empire.
I remember that. My kids loved them books.
But Ted's right. That's what they... Nowadays we have football, we have pro wrestling, we have professional sports. But yeah, let's really get serious about it. Like, let's really entertain people. Let's really give them what they want.
That's what's coming. Ted, go ahead, buddy.
We're spending trillions to kill all of these foreign people, and the American people keep paying for it, but they're not getting their money's worth for the entertainment value.
Right, they're not seeing it.
We need to build the big arenas that would rival the NFL, like you said, with a new game of champions. Think of what it would do for cultural diversity and collectivism, bringing people together in all these arenas all over the country.
Right. Yeah,
well, you know why they're not doing those things yet? Because of movies like The Hunger Games, and because of movies like what's the one with Stone Cold in it, where they
Condemned.
Yeah, The Condemned.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, those kids, they'll start to, hey, guess what? We're human beings, and we don't want to die. You don't want to die. Why the fuck should we? And you know what? Unless they're putting bombs around our necks like they do in that movie, and if you ever seen Running Man and other movies, there's ways around that shit. Mick Fleetwood could help you out. You never know.
Hey, that's interesting, though, Lee. That's very interesting. That's what Donald Trump and all these billionaires should be doing, is trying to create a format of entertainment that kind of goes back to the old...
that's what Donald Trump's after, brother.
I'm saying that. Well, do it this way. Before somebody gets killed, just go to commercial break like you do everything else. Keep people in suspense, and when you come back, you'll be cleaning up. It'd be nice.
Yeah,
it'd be nice
you can Running Man that shit. Digital Matt, Jesse Ventura's head on a bunch of spikes, and all of a sudden it's great. Yeah, and that's what they do. Ted, maybe you can help me out on this. I know I still have to watch a little bit of mainstream media because I do work outside, so I have to watch weather and that stuff. Well,
you gotta laugh.
or yell and scream at the TV at 5 o'clock in the morning, whichever comes
Yeah,
first,
that's it.
because that does happen. But, yeah, am I wrong? Is the mainstream media really just trying to either A, they think that we're that stupid, or they're really trying to push a Trump presidency? I'm not entirely sure.
Well, the mainstream media, first of all, they're not a media organization. They're part of the government. They're part of the CIA. I'm sure you know that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
They're pushing
That was back
the
in the
government
60s.
agenda. Yeah, actually, 1953 is when Operation Mockingbird started.
There you go.
There we go.
A lot of research that. But it's not media. The only media we've got, the only legitimate media source we have, can be found on the internet. You're not going to find it on the Turner. You're sitting there with a remote control punching it. It doesn't exist. I don't care if it's Fox or CNN or NBC or ABC or CBS or PBS or any initials you want to throw at it. It belongs to the CIA. The CIA controls it 100%.
Yep.
And they're going to brainwash people and put out propaganda, and that's what they're paid to do. 100% controlled by the CIA. And, of course, the CIA, that's where the $6.5 trillion went to. Well, a good chunk of it went over there. Those boys handle those types of funds.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's going on. Now, you can say they're promoting Trump. You can say they're promoting Clinton. Hell, they're just promoting the show is all they're doing. That's all they're doing. They're just a big Jerry Springer out there promoting the propaganda. Nothing more, nothing less.
This is why I love Ted
Jotte.
Jotte,
Watching
kids.
them 10 years ago. And once in a while I'll flip it on just to see what their new tactics are, but it hasn't changed much. It's the same old crap.
It is.
Yeah, Lee brought up a good point, Ted. Not to jump in here, but Lee brought up a good point. Maybe they don't think people are that stupid. They know people are that stupid. Just give them this. Just like I said, it's Friday. They're trying to go home. They're trying to clock out. They're like, pretty much, fuck it.
Well,
fuck it. We'll just do this.
People are stupid. A lot of people are stupid, and but a lot of people don't care, and they don't care because they just want to get on with their lives, and I respect that. But the thing of it is, when this starts crawling in people's backyards, they're going to start caring, and then it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, it already is too late.
I don't think so. I really don't.
All right. Yeah.
Close. I think we're real close.
You get where I'm going, though.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
I got to agree with Dennis on this one, Ted, man. This is one of the very rare times that you and I disagree on things.
No, Ted's right, though. I think we're at the tipping point. I think we're right there. But
we're on the fence right now.
Well, one more stroke of the finger and she's going to come or not. Because we're doing this each and every week, and it's like one more stroke of the finger every week, and either the bitch is going to come or she ain't. And it's kind of more seeming like she ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. And, we can all sit around and wait for the knocks on the door, because it's coming.
Thank you, Ted, for realizing what I was laying down there, man. Damn, I love this guy.
Ted gets it. Trust me. Yeah, trust me. If anybody that's a guest on the show or past history of being on the show, I've learned from Ted. And trust me, Ted understands exactly what's going on.
You guys have no idea how much we love Ted.
He's able to step back in a way that a lot of other people can't do because they're so engraved in, their investments in whatever it may be. But Ted's able to step outside of that.
It's because that motherfucker knows how to think on his own, man. He knows he knows how to think on his own.
Well,
I don't know how to put it any more plain than that.
People do not study history. People do not go back and look at these certain things that happened throughout history that led up to why we are in the position we are in right now. But Ted is one of those people, a historian, if you will. And I respect that. I look for people that understand our history, and a lot of the shit you were told in high school is not the true history. You have to go out and look for that shit. You got to find it on your own. Nobody's going to give it to you.
I'm going to have to say this, Dennis. If Ted is a historian, he's the very first historian I've ever liked and respected. So,
that's interesting. That's interesting, man.
Well, it's because most of the historians I've ever come across in my life have all just been propagandists of, whatever narrative they want you to believe. It depends on where you're coming from, who's funding this propagandist, who's funding this person that's saying these things. I know who's funding Ted Jotte. Ted fucking Jotte, motherfuckers.
That's pretty much
and
it.
That's why I can trust that motherfucker right there, because he's just going to sit here and give me his real opinion, his real thoughts on the subject. And guess what? He's right. Every time, kids. Every time. I mean, it's a heavy fucking burden to bear, dude. I know. But, damn, Ted, you are right every time. And that's why we hold you in some of the utmost respect around here.
Yeah,
because,
in the Hall of Fame.
Dude.
I appreciate that. And I'll tell you what, studying what I have studied and finding out the true nature of our government and the true history of this progressive agenda, and that's something that everybody needs to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I gagged when you said progressive.
Yep, what did I tell you, kids?
You'll find some very unpleasant things when you go down that hole, and you may never come out.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said that truth is only found in history, and that is the only way to look at history. If you look at history to try and prove a point, or to try and argue a debate, or win a debate, or an argument, or for whatever reason, write a college paper, I don't care what it is. If you're looking for truth, you've got to look at history, because that's the only place you're going to find it. You're not going to find it coming out of some politician's mouth or out of CNN or Fox News. You will not get truth from anybody in politics. I don't care who they are. You may get a half-truth. You may get a half-lie, but you will never get full truth from anybody in politics or any form of government. That's not the way these people operate. That's not the way they were trained to operate. They were trained to lie, to deceive, to cheat, and to take your money, and that's all politics is.
Get your vote at any cost.
Yeah, that is the truth. That's the stone cold truth right there.
Mm-hmm. Say word. Say word, Ted.
Yeah.
Go on, man. Preach on, Ted, man. You've got the floor, buddy.
But I'll tell you, this federal government is dying. You ask, where it's all going. Where are we? We're on the fence. The federal government is dying. We have not had a legitimate federal government in a long time. They created an illusion of government, but it's now an actual reality. We don't have a federal government. We watched this year the dismantling of a three-branch governing system and how they exposed to the world this very dynamic and powerful, non-political, anti-sovereign machine. And they've assembled a corporate and military power capable of dominating domestic government and foreign affairs alike. And they talk about, Obama comes in with all of this American exceptionalism. Well, I tell you what, that is real. It's not real as they prescribed it by those who manufactured its essence, but it is exceptionalism, but it's a very dangerous type of exceptionalism. It's exceptional in the sense that they're trying to eradicate our republic doctrine, and they're trying to diminish a more perfect union. It's obvious. Our federal government is just merely the remnants of a previous working miracle, a miracle that held our country together for over 200 years. And it's now corrupted, it's tainted with internal and external mechanisms of these luminaries that have no intention of returning it to its previous state. If America acquiesces to the death of our republic, it will go down in history as the most abominable death of all times. Their goal is perpetual warfare, and that is a truth that's only found in history. And that also attests to the existence of two classes, the human resource and the psychopath.
Yep.
All right.
Right.
Hey, real quick. Ted, I just want to get your perspective on this, because do you think, even with the founding of this, way back when, Columbus, he discovered shit.
Fuck Columbus. Columbus didn't discover shit but fucking get drunk and fucking land across the other side of the fucking ocean.
All right, well, here's the thing. Here's what I would
Dumb
ask
fucking
Ted,
drunk Spaniard.
both you guys. Just the founding of this country, the founding fathers, the built nation of America, right, that we all are living in. Maybe it was all a big plan to be destroyed later on down the road too, but it's taken longer. This is how I feel about it. It's taken longer because they keep hiring these morons. They keep hiring people that can barely tie their shoes, but they want to rule the country.
That's by design, brother.
You see what I'm saying?
Well, it's by design. They want to bring in the dumber of the crop. Why do you think the Supreme Court of this country all of a sudden decided against, IQ tests for cops? Because they want them dumber. Be dumb and have a gun. They're an act or a statute away from saying, hey, you psychopathic killers in jail that, have actually been out there killing people. They would give John Wayne fucking Gacy a gun, put him in a clown outfit, and stand him out on fucking whatever popular avenue in any major city at this point in time, dude. They really would.
Let me rephrase that, though. They are hiring stupid politicians to, be puppets in their, like I said, their design of a grand scheme.
I think that's pretty obvious, because every politician that is out there doesn't have an IQ that adds up to 86. I mean,
no, I'm just saying, but they are hiring stupid people, but also, like Ted said, they are hiring psychopaths, like people that do not have remorse, people that do not care about killing people.
Psychopaths, sociopaths, they do that. Yeah. Why do you think they have the programs that they do?
I'm sorry to tell you.
I mean,
little kids, they do all kinds of shit. This whole thing about Trump, grabbing pussies and shit. I'm sorry to be vulgar to anybody out there listening.
Pussy.
A billionaire. He's been grabbing pussies for a long time. Let me tell you. And also, look at Hillary's husband. If you want to put in perspective, the only
they lined up all the pussies he grabbed. They did.
Bill Cosby, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump in Vegas. I'm telling you, that's going to be a good time.
Here's a question that I have to pose to Ted as an outsider like myself, man.
Psychopath.
You happen to catch the mainstream media's spin on everything every now and then, man. A little bit more than others, man. You pay attention. I know you do. Have you not noticed that mainstream on all three networks, man, ABC, CBS, and NBC, of the let's see how much we can dog Trump without dogging Trump type of a thing going on?
Yeah, it's obvious. I mean, it's obvious that mainstream media is going to support the agenda that is controlled by the shadow government, and it's all about ideology. Okay, this is all intermingled. There is an ideology out there that exists that's extremely dangerous, and it's this progressive, collective, politically correct, liberating, tolerance, repressive, tolerant ideology that was developed by all of these Marxists that moved into this country in the 1930s and the 1940s and the 1950s. It's a heavy-duty, massive ideology, and it's spread and it's remixing the entire country, and it's in places that you would not believe, and it's in the media, folks. It is in the media. It's in our government. It's in the CIA. It's in the FBI. It's in the Judicial Department. It's in the executive.
Everywhere. It's like a virus.
Congress. It is everywhere. It's in our schools, our universities, our cafeterias.
Well, Ted, think about this.
Out there.
Let's talk about this for a second, right? The alternative news media. Okay, Alex Jones, Mark Dice, WikiLeaks.
Oh, no. They're not alternative, man. They are mainstream.
That's what I'm getting at. Look who they're talking about, right? Jones is supporting Trump because he has that big of an audience of people that are going to be like, well, if Alex Jones is doing it, I might as well do it. And he's playing that part. And the CIA owns that as well. Like we were saying earlier, I know who's funding Ted Jotte, Lee Pierre, and Dennis Ford. We're all funding ourselves. Nobody's funding us or paying for us to get on the radio and tell people bullshit. But these assholes are, they're in the alternative news media, activism, truth movement to make money. That's why they're here, and that's what they're doing. And Jones is one of the big contributors to what's going on. Because, like I said, when I got into all this shit, he was one of the first people I ran into. So I can only imagine what people are hearing from his ass nowadays. Because I turned him off 3 years ago. On top of all the other people on radio that claim to be not controlled by, the machine, but they really are. But we're not. That's what makes us different. But my point is that I want to get your thoughts on that. Ted, like the alternative news media, the people that are supposed to be the front runners in the truth movement, which is another joke. It is a joke at this point because look at our situation. We can't even agree on simple things, let alone try to create some kind of revolution or whatever people want to label it. But Jones is not here to do that. He's here to entertain you, pretty much. He's here to entertain you. He follows the lead of Piers Morgan or whoever it may be, CNN, and all that shit. All that shit is intertwined. It's all spiderweb, and that's what I see that I don't see.
Well, that's where a lot of people fucking deviate, man. And maybe it's just the empathetic person in myself, but
I mean, I'm just saying. Think about it. Kokesh, Luke Radowski.
Hey, Dennis Ford. If we weren't a little bit entertaining, motherfuckers wouldn't be tuning into us.
I'm saying we don't do the entertainment to look for like a paycheck after we get off.
Oh no, but if anybody wants to pay us for being entertaining, then by all means, we take weed, food, and money.
I'm just saying it pisses me off that Alex Jones is like, we got to vote for Trump. I want all my people that followed me. I'm Alex Jones. I got the documents. Vote for Trump. See, that should let you know all along that Alex Jones is a fraud. Because if he really meant what he said, he wouldn't be supporting any politician. But he's a flip-flopper. Just like everybody else in media. They flip-flop to make everybody want, they want the likes. They want the views. They want people to like them. I don't really give a shit about that. I don't care if you like what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Ted.
That's what I'm saying about the ideology and how it's spread like a cancer throughout our entire media structure.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
They've got to play both sides of the game. Okay, you can't look too heavy-handed on one side. So you have your Alex Joneses out there to scream and holler and cry and get his face all red on TV, because he thinks Hillary Clinton's so bad. So you got to have those people too to make it look good, right? Okay, we know how that. I know how the game works. I've studied this enough. I've been studying this crap for 30 years. For God's sakes, I was part of it.
Ted Jotte, ladies and gentlemen.
I was a propagandist myself back in the 1970s. I had to support a U.S. congressman in his district office. I've done this shit. I know how it works, and you've got to play both sides of the game. I'll tell you what, Lee. There's 4 sources out there I trust. One is The Intercept, one is WikiLeaks, one is Ben Swan, and one is Ron Paul. Those are the 4 I really trust right there.
Yeah, Ben Swan I've got my little bit of reservations about, but I'm a skeptical bastard, all right? I don't trust the DTA, motherfucker. Don't trust nobody.
Yeah, I don't trust anybody, so I question everybody that's doing what we do.
Ted did name 3 out of the 4 people that, I have been in personal contact with, and I do trust.
Every day, don't you get up
Matt Drudge is a fucking Rush Limbaugh fucking shill, dude. He's fuck's sakes.
That's what I'm saying.
Dude, I've listened to Rush Limbaugh for 20-some years now, and anymore for the last, 15 years, it's like, just because you piss me off. Just because you're the only person on talk radio during that time. They take away everything else from us. Clear Channel Communications, ladies and gentlemen, is where you need to direct your hate mail and tell them that they don't have enough diversity.
No, here's my point, though. When you get up in the morning, I'm sure you're not turning on your television. You're on the internet researching, looking up things or whatever. there's a few sites, like Ted said, there's maybe 3 or 4 that I'm going to hit first because I know what they're going to, present to me, and then I'll go research it or cross-reference it or do what I have to do to find the truth in it. But it's hard to find the truth because you don't know where it's coming from. You can't really trust anybody nowadays, not even us on the show.
Well,
we've been telling people for years to go research.
Here, case in point, Glenn Beck. Okay, for years,
There you go,
this guy
buddy.
got on TV and on the radio and screamed and hollered, yay, yay, Constitution, protect our republic, freedom, liberty, all of this shit. Now he's supporting the communists.
Yep. Yep. You are damn right. Dude, my old man would be rolling over in his grave if we hadn't sent his ashes down the river, man. I'll tell you that right now. Me and him used to listen to Glenn Beck every morning. We'd work on cars and,
Yeah, I used to check out
and listen to Glenn Beck. We would always get up and yell and scream and tell him he's, a communist before, but, he's kind of like down, just like Ted said.
Well, when it comes to like the judge, Napolitano, they were like, you got to get out of here. You're not what we're looking for. But they're looking for people like Beck. They're looking for Jones. They're looking for Mark Dice. They're looking for people that can smile in your face and lie to you, pretty much. That's what they're looking for. They don't want people telling the truth because the truth is not entertaining at all. The truth is very, very brutal. And I don't think a lot of people are really prepared for what's really going on. But, they want to entertain you and sell you something when they go to commercial break. Because that's where it works. Right?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Or Light.
The entire program is a farce. I mean, look at the governments, the ugly ones, the self-righteous ones. There are a few good governments out there on some isolated island somewhere, but these people who proclaim to be the world leaders, they continue this big overture for peace through strength. Who are they fooling? They force nations to conform to their planned ideology, resource confiscation, taxation, unwanted monetary policies. Well, they've reduced the population through mass killings. That's not a quest for peace.
No.
Who are they kidding?
They're not kidding me.
I'm not blind, but there's too many blind people out there that can't see what's going on.
Thank you.
Well, my famous saying,
hospitals and killing millions of people. The United States has killed 20 million civilians since the mid-1940s after World War II.
Well, 200 million. Since,
right, this segues into something I want to talk about to both of you guys here tonight. I know we got to take a break here in a minute or whatever, but
we should probably be taking a break now, but that's all right. Go ahead.
World III is coming, right? We're getting ready for that, right? That's what's coming, right? Let's get it on. Let's get the nukes flying and let's get this shit over with. Don't talk about it. Let's do it. Let's get her going. Well, let's get the fires burning.
I have a theory about that. And we're hearing a lot of talk about, things are heating up between the U.S. and Russia and China and this big island they're building out there. And
this is true. This is true. Ted, can you,
Royal
Ted?
Air Force is going to shoot down Russian fighters
Ted,
and all this stuff.
am I still talking? Ted, can we please hold this off for the second hour, man? I do have to take
let's
that
talk about this in the second hour when we come back.
all-important break. Can you hang out with us in the second hour, buddy?
You betcha. I'll be right here.
That's totally awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the super awesome fucking Ted Jotte joining us tonight, man. Yeah, that's right. We're not so drunk tonight. We've got somebody that makes sense.
No, we had Jesse Ventura in the first hour.
Jesse Ventura was here in the first hour. The second hour, we got a big announcement coming up, and more in the third hour. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the one Friday night show that does the full 3 hours because we don't slave to the blog talk bullshit. I'm the mouth with Mr. Dennis Ford, and we'll be back in the second hour of the Friday Night Super Show.
It's a life for me, and I'm always a good friend with bad company. I drink all day just to get to
Are you butt ugly with nasty-ass taste? Do you like pancakes? Then come on down to Betty's no-good clothes-store pancake house. Heinous dresses for big fat hoggies, cheap, tacky, ill-fitting suits that were never in style, stinky tight clothes for old people, and pancakes. And while you're here, why don't you check out our grubby, snotty little kids department, where you'll find awful, itchy kids' polyester jumpsuits that'll get the crap knocked out of them at school, and pancakes. So, put a bag on your head and hop on the ugly bus to Betty's no-good clothes store and pancake house. Terrible, terrible clothes and pancakes.
Betty's no good clothes up at Pancake House!
Say hello to my little friend. Okay? Al Pacino. Another Cuelo. Okay. I'm in the morning. I'm reloaded. I love that pussy. Hell yeah. I love that pussy. Hell yeah. I love that pussy dripping down to the floor. Oh no. The way it's pussy. Hell yeah. I love the pussy. Hell I'm drinking off your booty, sweating, busting the nut. Now do the bunny hop. Crank that kitty cat. It's the ghetto slave. With the noodle legs. Now do the noodle legs. Now do the noodle legs. They can't give me teachers while I'm busting the nut. Pussy, 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 that is all on my mind. Al Chino without the kitty, you lost your damn mind. And yeah, it makes the world go round. I'm a pussy magnet. I'm born through the winter. Check out my pussy jacket. I love the pussy. Hell yeah. I love the pussy. Hell yeah. I sniff it out just like a dog for the pussy. Hell yeah. I make 'em. Al Pacino got that pussy control. Locked down. I love the pussy. Hell yeah. I love the pussy. Hell yeah. I love that pussy dripping down to the floor. Oh no. The way it's pussy. Hell yeah. I love the pussy. Hell I'm drinking off your booty, sweating, busting the nut. Now do the bunny hop. Crank that kitty cat. It's the ghetto slave. With the noodle legs. Now do the noodle legs. Now do the noodle legs. They can't give me teachers while I'm busting the nut. Al Pacino, baby, put that pussy Mac down. My drink and my noodle legs makes that pussy come round. I'm so cool. I'm so cool with it. When it comes to this pussy, I'm like glue with it. Sticking straight to the pussy, but never leave my side. Ain't no pussy in the world Al Pacino can't find. No, it can't hide, and you can bet I love the shade, the bushy, I really don't mind. I love the pussy. Hell yeah. I love the pussy. Hell yeah. I sniff it out just like a dog for the pussy. I make 'em. Al Pacino got that pussy control. I love that pussy. Hell yeah. I love that pussy. Hell yeah. I love that pussy dripping down to the floor. Oh no. The way it's pussy. Hell yeah. I love the pussy. Hell I'm drinking off your booty, sweating, busting the nut. Now do the bunny hop. Crank that kitty cat. It's the ghetto slave. With the noodle legs. Now do the noodle legs. Now do the noodle legs. They can't give me teachers while I'm busting the nut. Now break it down. Now with me, you see real good. Break it down. Now with me, you see real good. You see real good. Pussy real good. They can't give me teachers while I'm busting the nut. I love that pussy. Hell yeah. I love that pussy. Hell yeah. I love that pussy dripping down to the floor. Oh no. The way it's pussy. Hell yeah. I love the pussy. Hell I'm drinking off your booty, sweating, busting the nut. Now do the bunny hop. Crank that kitty cat. It's the ghetto slave. With the noodle legs. Now do the noodle legs. Now do the noodle legs. They can't give me teachers while I'm busting the nut.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but it seems to me that when the giant that holds up the earth dies, we are screwed.
The doctor told us that we should let you work it out in your own sweet time, but Ricky, you can walk.
What'd you just say? He's telling you the truth, man. It's all in your head.
You sick sons of bitches. I mean, you walk in that door on your two legs all fat and cocky and looking at me in my chair, and you tell me it's all in my head? I hope that both of you have sons, handsome, beautiful, articulate sons who are talented and star athletes, and they have their legs taken away. I mean, I pray you know that pain and that hurt.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that on us. You are not paralyzed.
I am so paralyzed.
No.
Rough on him now.
No, he needs to know.
Okay.
He's always crying.
Tough love it is, tough love. Wake up, idiot.
You want to know what I am? You want to see what my life is?
Don't do it.
You want to see what's going on here?
Don't you stick that knife in your leg.
Oh! Oh! Man! Ow! Well, hold on! Ow!
May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung. And may you stay forever young. May you stay forever young. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand upright and be strong. And may you stay forever young. May you stay forever young. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. May your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. And may you stay forever young.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here on the Friday Night Super Show. I am the mouth laughing and scratching at you, along with my tag team partner, like no other, Mr. Friday Night. Not so much raging tonight, Dennis Ford.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare be sour now. Hey, and we're joined by the one and only brilliant mind that the two of us actually agree on and respect. Ted Jotte, ladies and gentlemen. An old friend of the show, been here several times. Ted, how in the hell are you doing tonight, man? Thank you for hanging out with us drunken idiots.
Yeah, you see, I'm as good as it gets, and I appreciate you guys beyond belief. I'll tell you what. If there was any way I could crank this up so the whole world could hear it, I would do it. You guys lay the truth out there like nobody I've ever heard.
Shoot, brother, we're just trying, man. We totally appreciate it, and your brilliant mind being a part of the show is.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing about you.
Yeah, that's such an added point to us, and we're not out here to be pimps of what we do and all that. The only pimping that we've ever done about the show is, hey, we're that good, but. When we get somebody like Ted Jotte on the show, who has been there, who has seen it, who knows, who can say the word progressive in a manner that would make those of us in the knowledge throw up. And yes, Ted, every time you say that word, it really churns my fucking stomach, but it does.
It does.
But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you what. We don't do this for ratings. We don't do this for fun. We don't do this for phone calls, Facebook likes, Spreaker likes, any of that garbage. Just listen, because we get some people on here who actually know some shit. All right? We sit here and get drunk all night, but we do know some people that come on here and actually can sit here and still bring that knowledge to you. Because we're sick of it. Really, we are. That's why we sit and get drunk during this show.
Not to mention, real quickly, I just want to bring up this quick.
I almost started drinking from the bottle fucking directly. Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, follow me here. Follow me here for a second. I guess it was last Friday after the show during the weekend. I was like, man, I'm gonna send a message to Ted and see if he's gonna be free Friday, because the last couple of shows it's just been us like just getting on the radio and just going off or whatever we're talking about.
Oh yeah, and we're dicks, ladies and gentlemen. When it boils down to it, we really are dicks. I mean, some of you do need to be fucked. I'll put that out there, but you know, we really are kind of dicks.
That's not my point. No pun intended. But like I said, I was thinking, I was like, man, we got to get Ted back on it because it's been a while. And Ted is one of those people throughout my career in internet radio that kind of brings me back to the origins again of why I got into radio and why I decided to, you know, be this passionate about it. And Ted reminds me of that. Like I said, back in the day, a few years ago, me and Ted would do 2-hour shows about the government and politics and how all this shit works. You know, you're more than welcome to go pull up those shows. But then later on, the Friday Night Super Show, and Ted has been a consistent guest that has been on with us that you're really not going to find.
One of the best guests.
Internet radio.
Just so I'll say.
And that's what we do. You know, we bring people stuff that they're not going to get on other places. You're going to get it somewhere else. You're going to get that, or you're going to get this. But what we do on the Friday Night Super Show is very unique. It's very, again, carving our own lane.
Well, you know, and that's why I really, you know, am honored every time. I'm really honored every time that Ted wants to come on our show, man, because...
Yeah, remember I told you, I was like, you know, what are you thinking about Ted Friday? And you were like, oh, why not? You know, it's been too long.
Well, yeah. You know, because Ted brings that perspective to the show that we can't. I mean, maybe we've been robbed of that. Maybe that's been taken away from us. But Ted has that calming level between the face and the heel, you know, when it really comes to it. And he's been doing that ever since before we were the face and the heel. So every time that we get Ted Jotte on, it's always a brilliant insight into something that a lot of us haven't ever fucking thought of. And
but that's what I'm saying. Going back, you know, I'm going to let Ted elaborate on this here in just a minute.
Good, because I got to walk a fucking piss.
We're going to talk to him. Just give me a second here. But going back and becoming friends with Ted all those years ago, again, when the Ron Paul shit was going on, there was a lot of shit going on. But Ted has a drive and a passion that he's on the show here with us tonight in 2016. And that's what I respect. And on top of that, he's able to break shit down in a way that a lot of people, it's easy for them to understand it. And we may not be able to do that, but Ted can do that. Whether it's his experience, whatever it may be, whatever his age is, he's wise way beyond his age. Let me tell you. So, I respect that.
Motherfucking Yoda and shit,
that was missing on this show after we left the network. We haven't had Ted on since we left the network, and here we are here tonight. Ted's on with us.
Well, I tell you, fellas, you're way too kind, and I appreciate those kind words.
Normally I'd be cussing you out, Ted, but I'm in a good mood here tonight, so I'm going to give you respect.
Yeah, Mr. Friday Night's being nice tonight.
I'm just an average American citizen that wants to see America continue. I don't want to see what's coming at us. I don't want it to happen, but I'm afraid it's going to happen. And, I don't want to see a bloodbath. I don't want to see a
I don't think any of us do.
Regime. I don't want to see U.S. troops marching down the streets. I don't want to see blue helmets in my backyard. I don't want to see any of this bullshit. I really don't. And but you know, I'll tell you what. I stuck my head in this hole many years ago. I got out of the Democratic Party back in 1985. I was a major player in the Democratic Party.
See, I was 3 years old in 1985.
I was 10.
I worked in a very powerful Democratic congressman's office for 9 years, and I saw the start of the modern progressive agenda.
I know you
and
did.
I say modern because the progressive agenda has been around for a long time. It
Mhm.
goes, way back to the early 1900s, even the 1800s, if you go back to the Marxist era. But I stuck my head in this hole seriously about 10 years ago and started researching this and wondering why. Why do we need politically correctness in this country? Why do we have half of our government that absolutely refuses and represses the other half of our government? Who is doing this? Who is controlling this? Who is forcing these people to do this? If you look at it clearly and open your mind up, you will see it.
Mm-hmm.
That we have a totally split government. And I'm not talking about Democrats and Republicans. I'm talking about attitude and ideology here, folks.
Right.
Parties don't matter. Parties don't matter.
Exactly.
There is a force, a very powerful force, overseeing our government that people don't realize. You can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who they are.
The shadow government, Ted.
It's a shadow government. It's extremely powerful group of people out there that is telling these people what to do. Our president, it doesn't matter who gets in there. Well, it matters to a certain extent because one individual is going to have different beliefs than another individual, and they may be more leaning towards the Constitution, and one wants to wipe their ass with it. So, you've got those types of issues. But all in all, it really doesn't matter because the people that are running things, we're not voting for them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And, I have never studied, researched, found, read, or discovered an ideology quite like progressivism. And in case anyone hasn't
Damn it,
noticed,
Ted.
in case anyone hasn't noticed, progressivism has now joined forces with this global brotherhood of psychopaths. And throughout the history of the world, there's been some absolutely horrible ideologues.
He's not lying to you, kids.
And convinced governments their fantasy isms were superior. And this particular progressivism global order is the most ungodly, beastly, abhorrent thing that I have ever studied, and it's hidden everywhere in places nearly impossible to discover. These are bad people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Ted, real quick, like you said, when you get into, all those years ago when you got into researching, eventually you're going to find the same monster everywhere you go. And it's like money, too. It follows them. It follows these people.
You brought a fucking...
You follow the money trail, you're going to find the same people eventually.
No,
and they're
Ted,
not the people that we vote for.
Ted brought a tear to my eye here, because I still have children and grandchildren. I'm sure that Ted does too. And Dennis, somebody
no, I don't
needs
have any
to.
kids.
Somebody needs to.
I'm different.
Because the Dennis Ford line needs to continue on. But, I'm sitting here thinking that, look, dude, I'm a fucking insane fucking party animal who talks against the government. My life expectancy cannot be that much longer than the next 10 years. It really can't. But my children and my grandchildren have to live past this. And,
well, the good thing about that
it boils back down to why we started this is, I don't give two fucks about anybody else besides my kids and my grandkids, when it boils down to it. I mean, I'll help anybody I can when I can, but you come and get my kids.
That's going to be important. That's going to be very important when
I hope it's important to them.
And they're talking to their grandfather.
So.
They're like, Granddad, what were you doing to stop all this stuff from happening? And you'd be like, guess what? I got 1,000 shows that you can listen to.
Yeah, they ain't going to be talking to me or being able to listen to my 1,000 shows because this type of fucking ideology that is existing in our government does everything. That's why I have to download everything we do anymore. Is because I'm pretty sure that they're never going to let us fucking hear the light of day coming up pretty soon. And
Well,
that's
I'm
why
just
it's
saying,
great
I
that
mean,
we have people like Ted Jotte on the fucking on the show.
Right, exactly. Or
'Cause-
P.D. Monsanto.
Yep.
Or any of these exclusive guests that we're going to get. Eventually, down the road, like I said, people that don't study history, I know that I'm making history along with Lee Pierre and Ted Jotte. I'm making history. I'm a trailblazer. I'm cutting my own lane that nobody else has ever done before me because I felt like nobody was doing it, and I stepped in and did it, and here we are today. So when people go back and look at my legacy, they're going to find all these radio shows, all the shit that I did. You know what I'm saying? That's important. That's, at the end of the day, I don't do it for money. I do it because
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books,
I'm fighting for them. Even if I don't know
my
them,
apartment
I was fighting for a better future for
smells
them.
of rich
So,
mahogany.
That's my legacy. You know,
I'm
that's
friends
what I'm
with
leaving.
Merlin Olsen, too.
That's
He
all
comes
I'm
over
saying.
on occasion.
I don't do this for me.
Yeah, but you're good at what you do, Ted. You're very good at it. You know, we all are. We're very good at what we do.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
yeah, Ted. I have to chime in.
I got kids and grandkids. I'll give you an example. I got a text from one of my twin daughters today.
You got twin daughters? I got twin granddaughters. That's awesome.
And he's got twin granddaughters.
Yep.
So,
oh, great. That's fantastic. She sent me a text. She said, Daddy, are we going to get into a war with Russia? That was her text to me. She said, I'm scared. She says, all I want is a normal life and a normal family, and I'm really scared. You know, she knows what's going on. And, you know, I had to answer her, and I had to be gentle yet honest at the same time. And I explained to her in a text, you know, how the United States is losing power. The reserve currency, world reserve currency, is dwindling, and all other superpowers are becoming stronger than us. And it's just the United States.
And what's amazing is that you can put that in a text. That you can put that in a text over the phone. That's what makes
how
you
the
very
fuck do you
different
do
than
that?
a lot of other people.
I'm sorry. I'm not as fucking smart as Ted Jotte because, damn, I couldn't put that in text. That's one of them things that I tell my daughters. You know, call me. The oldest boy, he knows. The youngest boy, he knows too. But he, you know, is. I can't tell you you're right yet, pops. You know, at that age. But
a little history on Lee Pierre. You have 4 children, right, Lee?
Yes.
4.
Yes. Two boys and 2 girls. Yes, that's right.
And
That's
grandchildren. Grandchildren.
Yeah, and my twin grandchildren. Tamaria and Ayana. Yes, and I remembered their names.
That's why we do this. We've got to look at the future of the country out there. You know, I don't have that many more years left, 10, 20, I don't know what I've got. I might have tomorrow, who knows.
Dude, if you got 20 more years, then you can come to my funeral. That'd be awesome. Because,
yeah,
no, I don't have
I'm down for that. You know, same thing with me. You know, we all have our days where you're like, you know, this shit, I can't take it anymore. But you're still alive, man. People will depend on us. Let's be honest. You know, people depend on what we do.
Yeah, but I'm not a liar about what I do, you know. And this stuff really does take a fucking toll, man. And so one of these days, kids, I'm not fucking immortal, all right? I will die. By all means, everybody have a nice big old drink of party liquors on the day that I do die, and celebrate at least what I, you know, tried to do.
I gotta get a shot here.
You know, shit.
You said that. But go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry.
Well, that's in the end, that's really the only thing that's about, you know, is the future, because we're Johnny come latelys. You know, Dennis and me, we really are. When it comes to this, we should have been doing this 20 years ago. Unfortunately, 20 years ago, I was, 20 years old and addicted to methamphetamines and pussy, and Dennis was 10. So, come on. Give us a little bit of slack here.
Years old to get with the program. It took me about 26 years old to really get with it.
But you know what?
At
Least at our age, we're still sitting out here supporting a happy hour, and the only people on the air that openly admit, hey, we're getting drunk and talking real.
Right. But that's what we do. But that's what I'm saying. When it comes to Ted and me meeting Ted Jotte all these years ago, there was a connection there. You know what I'm saying? Because he understood that, yes, there are people in the younger generations that are smart and able to do things. We're capable of doing shit. For me, it was looking at Ted and saying, you know what, this guy, he could be my dad, if things were different. But he's learned over the years. I look at my parents. My parents were so oblivious to everything. But Ted has studied history. He's lived through it. He's lived through things that I wish I was alive to experience. But Ted is very good at explaining that. And like I said, that's just an inspiration, again, of respecting your elders. And on top of that, respecting where we come from and what this is all about. Because a lot of people don't really understand what it's all about. When they
act like the fucking.
Oh, I gotta vote.
Yeah, they act like the respect from where we come from means you got to do certain things, and no, that isn't.
Well, after talking to Ted, I was like, Ted, we got to get you on a radio show, and I was doing radio shows back in 2011, and here we are today.
Well, the best part about Ted Jotte and being part of all the shows that we've done, man, is that Ted Jotte makes you think. It's not like it's an optional thing, really, to be quite honest.
Even if you're sober,
you sit back and you sit there and go, holy fuck. And I've done shows with Ted Jotte sober. Yes, I have. Ha 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 ha. Y'all think that I haven't. No, Ted Jotte makes you think, and that's the most beautiful part about it, man, is being able to have someone that sits there and and says something to you so provocative, you're like, no, fuck that, man. He can't be right. I'm Googling that shit. I'm looking that shit up. Wait, now let me go on this. 7 hours later, you're sitting there going, God damn, those drunk motherfuckers, and Ted Jotte was fucking right.
Ted was right.
Damn
and also, going back in the history of knowing Ted, just to give people a little history lesson, quote unquote, there's a group of people that I'm involved with, that me and Ted are involved with, groups on Facebook. They go back a long time, over the years of us investing our times, and we're all still cool with each other. And that's kind of what I want to bring to the Facebook.
I don't know how you
my
did
own
that.
Facebook profile, but that's impossible because now you're dealing with 1,000 people, you know what I'm saying? But in this group, it's like 30, 40 people, but we're all cool. We're all tight-knit community, and we all know what's going on. And that goes into the radio networks and everything else. But me and Ted have been part of groups, let me tell you.
I don't even pay attention to fucking groups anymore, man. As a matter of fact, I left some groups earlier this week because I get added to that shit all the time.
People that I care about, the person that founded that group, I'm interested in what she's going through and what's going on with her life. I know everybody's going through shit, but Ted is that guy. He's going to let you know. He's going to tell you what's going on. And that's what I respect about Ted. That's a whole nother show in itself.
Yeah, that's the best part. That's the best part about Ted Jotte is number one, he's going to say that word that makes you gag. It's called progressivism. Okay, dude. If you're not gagging at the mere mention of progressivism, then you must have somebody else's dick in your mouth. I have no idea what your problem is.
My whole point is, I'm gonna let Ted go ahead and do his thing here in a minute, but my whole point is that, when I was doing radio, like I said, back in the first hour, I was talking about the passion and the drive and the motivation that I had to go out and find people that could actually, again, change the landscape that has never been done before. Ted was, top 5 for me because he's that important to what we do.
I'm very important.
And a lot of people don't know that, but I know that.
Many leather-bound books.
I'm sure Lee here knows that.
And my apartment
continue to do that.
smells of rich mahogany. I'm friends with Merlin Olsen, too. He comes over on occasion.
Yeah. Sorry, kids, but you ain't. I wish you was out there getting drunk with us. That'd be awesome.
I mean, maybe I'm high, but I'm just saying, that's
totally
essentially what's going on. That's why I got into radio. The passion that I had to go out and handpick hosts and people involved in radio that I thought were, important for people to hear, that the whole world needs to hear, like, Ted said. But also, it reminds me of our history, Leaf, here. Me going out and, you were on Freedomizer. And I was checking out your show because Austin Thomas was telling me, he was like, you got to check out Leaf here. And I started listening to your shows. And then after a while, I called in your show. And like I said, here we are here. This is what people don't understand about history. It's a chain of events that lead up to where we are here tonight on the Friday Night Super Show. And this is probably, we're approaching 200 shows of just this show in itself. But you have to respect that. You have to.
To be quite honest, I don't give a fuck if anybody respects it or not. Fuck the fuck off.
Personally, I mean, it's
I got no time for it.
That I never thought
I've got great guests. Or wait a minute, let me rephrase that. We've got great guests like Ted Jotte that can lend a little bit of insight into some of this madness, a little bit of bridge between our fucking holy fuck you views to, hey, we almost still kind of care type of views. And that's because he's been down all these avenues. He's seen the dark side of the moon, man. And that's that to me, in myself, that's why I respect him. Is because he's seen so much more than we have.
Leap here. I know there's some shit going on recently with me being, the bad guy in the situation, the equation. But
you're just a dick. But
that's fine. That's fine. The thing is that, like I said, many years ago, I went out and I handpicked people, guests, radio show hosts, people I wanted to be involved with. I wasn't going out and looking for the big names. I was looking for people that I thought that, people need to hear, whether it's from music or what Ted does, or even Rachel McIntosh with her books. We've had authors on. Nobody else is doing that. That's us. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that we bring to the table that sets us apart from everybody else. Because again, we're not doing this for money. We do this because we appreciate what people do. And
we just have brilliant people on. We have people like Ted Jotte and Rachel McIntosh on, and James Perloff, and Maria Heller, Suzanne Posel. Chuck Ocelli is a frequent guest of the show, man. Dude, I'm sorry.
Trip Pugh. I mean, Trip has been neck and neck with us over the years doing this radio shit. He's been right there with the Friday Night Super Show and actually surpassing us on certain weeks because that's how good at radio Trip Pugh is.
It's only because he sucks penis way better than us.
No, I'm not saying that. But I want to get input on this, but I'm just saying, there's a certain time where you have to be like, who's really serious about this? Are you really, for real, invested the way I've invested my life into this? And if not, then there's not much we need to talk about. I don't respect people like that. But I respect Ted and I respect Lee. There's a handful of people, maybe 5 or 6 people I can name.
Ted, if you're still with us, man, you've been down this aisle many a times. You've seen many of the naysayers coming out there, talking about, fuck you, you ain't got, whatever. I'm sure you've heard the worst of the worst like we have, but why don't you chime in on how it's been affecting you, man? Because it has to be getting just at least a little bit better. As long as you've been in it, as long as I've been in it, it really is getting better. But as long as you've been in it, tells way more tales than my stupid little short tail ass can. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, the inspiration is mutual because I don't run across too many, and I got to consider you guys young, both of you, but I don't run across too many young people that have the insight, the knowledge, and the fortitude to do what you do. And believe me, that is much appreciated.
Oh, you mean the nuts? They don't have the balls to do what we do?
Yeah, many people. Yeah,
Big thanks, dude. I don't even get ID. I don't even get ID going in.
But he really meant that. That's what he meant. A lot of people don't have the balls to do what me and Lee Perry do.
They go just. I don't even get ID going into the bars. So thank you for calling me a young person. Thank you very much.
I'll tell you what, it takes some balls, guys, and you've got the balls. You've got to have balls to understand this stuff, and you've got to have balls to face the truth. And that's the whole problem with the people in this country is they don't have the balls to face the truth. So it's not that they don't want to face the truth. It's not that they don't want to hear the truth. They just don't have the balls to.
Well, they're scared of what they could lose.
They want the truth to leave them alone, so they can live their lives and just do their things. They don't want to know the truth. They don't care how many brown people die over there and how much blood is spilled in the Iranian desert. They don't want to hear about that shit. They just don't want terrorists running around in their backyard, and that's what the government's telling them is going to happen unless they keep paying their taxes and throwing away $6.5 trillion where nobody knows where it went.
Say word.
Yeah, real quick, quick point, Ted. The $6.5 trillion is one thing, but also Chicago. All right, strictest gun laws in the United States of America. One of the major cities where the liberal experiment is unfolding out front of everybody, and nobody wants to talk about it. But guess who is talking about it? Me. And I'm pointing it out, just like the $6.5 trillion. I'm pointing these things out because I want people to be interested in these experiments that they're running, at least when it comes to Chicago, because we know what's going on there. That's progressive, liberal, gun control state. Right?
There's a hell of a lot about Chicago that could be discussed, and you could do 20 radio shows on it. Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Chicago is the breeding ground for the progressive agenda.
And everybody thought it was going to be Detroit, didn't they?
Yeah, they thought it was Detroit. Remember that? Remember? And even this, in Chicago, I guess it was last year, they found this disappear, camp where they take people. You got a court date coming up or something, or you go to jail. They take you to this facility. I forgot the name of it, but you disappear. Nobody knows where you went.
The White Block.
FEMA camps or Guantanamo camps throughout this country in all major cities that people don't want to talk about. But that really happened, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it only took 2 weeks for that story to disappear. And that's not the only fucking secret place that cops take motherfuckers, dude. They got them here.
Right.
I know. I've been there. It's not nice. Yeah, I don't know exactly where it was. I couldn't give you the geographical locations because
you know what I'm talking about.
They didn't let me.
You talked about Chicago, in the past, and it's something again that I'm extremely motivated to let people know about because just in this month alone, I mean, what is it, 24 people have been shot and killed, and I can bet you
24. We're only at the 14th, man.
Yeah, it's
we're on that's on pace for 48.
I mean, it's mind-boggling, and it is the liberal, the progressive experiment that's going on in Chicago, and they're not talking about it, but, I want to point out to people because where are these guns coming from?
Well, when you make something illegal, somebody's going to make money off of it, man. We've talked about this many times on this show, man. Every time you make something illegal, somebody's going to make money off it, man. You make cigarettes illegal tomorrow, I'll guarantee you I will be on the corner tomorrow afternoon selling cigarettes. Guess what?
For a second here. I know out in Des Moines, Iowa, it may be one thing. But at least here in Virginia, I can't speak for everybody on the East Coast, but Chicago is one of these cities where the heroin that the government is protecting over there in Afghanistan is, the painkillers are one thing. When people can't get the painkillers, they turn to heroin. And there's a lot of influx of heroin running into Chicago and all throughout the United States.
Of course.
And it's a big money maker.
And how many, wait a minute, how many fucking heroin OD stories have been running on Chicago news? I've been monitoring, just so you know.
I'm just saying, people are not getting killed from overdoses. They're getting killed in the heroin and other drugs being exchanged on the streets and people fighting for that territory and young black males, African-American males trying to work their way up through the gang culture because the more, just like politics, the more shit you do, the higher you go. You can be president one day or you can run the gang.
It works the same way in Wall Street.
So that's why people are getting killed in Chicago and all throughout the United States and major cities. There's a heroin epidemic going on, painkiller epidemic that nobody's talking about. But guess who's funding that? United States government. They
Yeah.
want you taking that
Why do you think they got our boys guarding the poppy fields, man?
There you go.
I mean, I really wish that I could say that was a big old tinfoil hat conspiracy lie.
I could say that wasn't
but
true, but that's what's going on.
It is.
Like I said before, it's all intertwined. You've got the inner cities that are crumbling and falling into a black hole. I mean, they have been for years, and it's to the point now.
Yeah, it's nothing new.
These inner cities are so blighted.
Like I said, Ted, it's nothing new. Back in the 80s, remember when the CIA was shipping in freeway Ricky Ross coke in major cities? What was that, Los Angeles or whatever it was? Or, I'm sorry, but you know what I'm saying? It's nothing new. Same thing with Fast and the Furious. They were shipping guns to the Mexican government and the Mexican cartels and got caught red-handed, but nobody gives a shit. All right? But you think that stopped, right? You think that's not happening anymore? I got news for you. It's happening.
It's a lot worse. And that's, like I said, it's all intertwined. You know, they're bringing in the government. The government does what's called double dipping. Okay?
Right.
The government brings this shit in, and nobody's going to tell me that some of these extremely high-level, quote, officials, unquote, in the government are not some of the ringleaders in this bullshit, because they are. And I damn good well they are. So they bring this shit in. They throw it on the streets in the ghettos and the slums of these big cities. And then the cops go out and they bust all of these people and they throw them in the jails and they confiscate whatever.
Yeah, they win on both sides.
They win on both sides. And they put them in prison and fine them $10,000 and collect their bond or keep their bond or whatever. But they throw them in a private prison, and the private prison kicks back so much money to the governor of their state, and it's all a big goddamn racket, and they win on both sides.
That's what I mean.
And the boys in blue also get a bonus. You need to.
Yeah, I mean, the more, like I said, the more dirty shit that you're willing to do. For instance, Hillary Clinton. Look at the murder list that follows this lady. Not Benghazi, but I'm talking about people that got close to the Clintons that were investigating and winded up committing suicide, but they really didn't kill themselves. They were just murdered. That's what happened.
That's over 50 people and counting, but yeah, fuck
over
that guy.
50 fucking people.
I don't ever want to fucking waste a minute of time on this show with
him fucking killed too.
talking about Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump, to be quite honest. I mean, to be quite honest.
I'm just saying, even if he's a billionaire, he's not untouchable from this apparent Clinton mafia. You know, they're working with the cartels or something. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the few times that me and Dennis Ford
disagree.
disagree.
That fly that landed on her.
Look out.
Said he committed suicide.
You just mentioned something there, Dennis. Let me ask both of you a question. Why do we never hear about the mafia anymore?
Well, because that's who's running the government. Oh, at least that's the model that they're using to run the government. You know what I'm saying?
It's coming from Chicago, right? Remember that mafia in Chicago, New York City? Where
oh, shit, them bitches wish they was mafia, man. Shit.
Where'd they all go? I know where they went.
You know, the old saying, if you can't lick them, join them?
Yeah, if you can't beat them, you know, join them. Yeah.
Guess where the mafia
the government doesn't want to fight with the mob. You know,
what's the difference between the mafia and the government? They're both extortion experts.
Right, or the cartels in Mexico, right? Guns, drugs, money. What's any different than the government? That's the same fucking thing. That's the same thing.
There is no difference, boys. They're just using the model that they tried to squash out in the 70s. Ted, do you know what I'm talking about?
You haven't heard the word mafia on the news in, 15, 20 years?
Well, 10 at least. I'll give you that. I do drink a lot, so I can be wrong.
No, I'm just saying that's a good point to bring up, though, because, like I said, the only place you're going to find mafia is if you go back and watch Joe Pesci movies with Robert De Niro.
There you go.
Okay.
You got to check out some fucking, what's that fucking Italian motherfucker's name? Martin Scorsese
look how
films.
brutal the mafia is, right? If you fuck with the mob, they'll whack you. Guess what? That's your government. You fuck with them, they'll whack you.
Yep.
You'll come up missing. You won't be here anymore. Not to fearmonger or to scare people, but I'm just saying,
that's one of the contributing things that made my ex-wife leave me. was because I was all ready to take on all that shit. Al-Qaeda and ISIS and all that bullshit is all nothing more than CIA created bullshit. Come on, man. Let's not sit here and fucking act like there's this actual wonderland where Alice can tumble down to and find all this stuff and everything will be all right. Because it's fucked no matter what. We're looking at World War III with Putin. We're looking at fucking the entire degradation of the U.S. dollar is. You think you're paying something for gas right now, kids? Fuck! Wait till they fucking churn in some UN dollars to you. Holy fuck, man!
Right. Wait till you get that New World Order dollar bill.
You know, with the
let me say this real quick.
With a 35% increase, so that means Bazooka Joe bubblegum will cost what? What's the math there? Ted, maybe you can help me out. The math is
$8. It don't matter.
$8? Are you fucking?
I just want to point this out real quick.
Fuck.
Just give me a second here. When it comes to, the establishment, again, the machine, the thing that a lot of people identify with because they have to pay their bills, but they don't really understand because they pay their taxes. And we all know taxation is theft.
Totally.
Where do you think that money goes? Guess what? The Pentagon lost your fucking money, lost $6.5 trillion of it. And if you're not mad about that, if you're not mad about that, then you need to check your pulse because obviously you're dead.
Yep, okay? Because we're drunk every Friday night when we get on the show. Yep, we get drunk every night.
$6 trillion.
Every night on the Friday Night Super Show, we get drunk. But guess what? Lee Peer, Dennis Ford, and Ted Jotte, I think I can feel confident in including him on this one. We ain't going to lose $6.5 trillion, motherfuckers. We ain't.
Right, $6.5 trillion. Follow me for a second. $6.5 trillion. Back in 2001, guess what? They lost $2.3 trillion, and you got 9/11 out of that. So where's the $6.5 trillion?
And just so everybody out there knows, there's only 8.8 trillion of actual cash in circulation. If you do the math,
played a magic
go right ahead.
And I didn't get the cum shot. I didn't get the surprise at the end. Like, where's that money?
No fucking money shot. No, nothing.
I didn't get the money shot. $6.5 trillion. I mean, you need to explain that. That's enough money for all of us, every citizen, man, woman, and child, to have $20,000 in the United States of America. Every citizen. So where is that money that you stole from us?
Nobody would have to hold a job. Nobody in this country would have to work for the amount of money. Dennis, nobody even knows how much currency is in circulation out there. They compound this. Every time this money comes back to a commercial bank in the form of a loan, it's compounded again by 10. Nobody even knows how much money is out there in circulation.
We just estimate, right?
It could be quadrillions of dollars, and probably is. I mean, it's just an incredible amount of money. They can't.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Ted. Did they buy Jupiter? Did they buy the planet Jupiter with that money? Like, what did you buy with that money?
We'll never know. We'll never know. What about the 16 trillion that they supposedly loaned to the banks on Wall Street and the foreign banks?
I know.
During the quantitative easing.
But like I said, that's people paying taxes, though. Right. I mean, that's when you go get your check, right? There's certain people that work on the table and shit, but I'm talking to everybody out there.
Let's put this out right, okay? Before we get into this discussion, all right? People do not pay taxes; they take taxes, okay?
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. For instance,
it's all fake.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you take money from me, Ted, if
no,
I let
Ted's
you borrow,
got a point,
$100. Let's just say, for instance, I let you borrow $100, and then I'm like, hey, I gave you $100 last week, and you're like, oh shit, I lost it. I don't know where it went. I have no idea. Well, we're talking about $6.5 trillion. All right, that's something. There should be a very big question mark on the Pentagon right now.
That's like letting a motherfucker fuck your wife, yo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a big violation.
What's that stupid Woody Harrelson movie?
And nobody got fired. Nobody got fired. Nobody got put on leave. We didn't hear nothing. It was just like, we lost the money. Move on. Here's the election, motherfucker. Look at this.
Go ahead, Ted, man. I know you got something to say. Go ahead, buddy.
But you know what? They could print $6.5 trillion more to replace it. And what happens? Well, interest rates at what? 0.12% right now, or something like that. So they drop it down to 0.10%, and increase the price of the bonds. And International Monetary Fund goes around and tells the world that they have to increase the amount that they participate in, and you got that $6.5 trillion covered in a matter of 24 hours just by pushing buttons.
Well, that's what I mean. How is it even look, Ted, I just want to ask you something. How is it even fucking possible to spend that much money? It's actually impossible to spend $1 trillion.
I'd really like to see somebody give me. I'd really no. Hang on, Dennis. I'm trying to pimp us out here. I'd really like to see somebody give me, Dennis Ford, and Ted Jotte that amount of money, and if we can go through it in 30 days.
Nah, dude, I would change the world. It'd be a big Michael Jackson video. I'd be like, heal the world, make it a better place. I could heal the fucking world.
All right, just give that money to me and Ted Jotte. Okay, maybe not Dennis. We'll bring him along, but that's okay.
I'm just saying, think about that. We're not talking about millions. We're not talking about billions. We're talking about trillions. And they did this before, in 2001, right the day before 9/11, Donald Rumsfeld. I don't know where the money went.
Straight down the rabbit hole, September 10th style, yo.
And here's the distraction. We didn't get a 9/11 this time when they lost the money. We got an election to distract us.
We just got a big fuck you. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody cares.
And Donald Trump.
Every single person that has ever spouted truth or gone against the government everywhere got a big old finger right up the old ass can. Just right there, man.
Yeah,
I felt it. I don't know about you guys. I felt it tickle my prostate.
That's even funny to say because payday, the corporation Monsanto got bought out. They did reach their payday. They got bought out by Bayer.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people forgot. Also, but it's interesting because I'm talking to Payday about doing a remix of 2.3 trillion under control, but 6.5 trillion. Like, what can you really buy with that kind of money? I mean, that's mind-boggling.
Whatever the fuck I want.
Buying? What are you buying?
Hey, Ted, how much do you cost? I want to make good investments here.
If you live 10 lifetimes, you couldn't spend that money.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to chuck into a break here. Another break. Yes, we are the one Friday night show that goes the full 3 hours. Okay, all right, but we do have to chuck into another break. But Ted, I want you to chime in on this. You know how that money influences everybody, man. I mean, what's your take on this? Get them all, grab them all fucking society that we have.
They were a lot of the money went, in my opinion. A lot of the money went up in smoke in Africa and in the Middle East. You've got a secret budget. In fact, you probably have a dozen or so secret budgets that it doesn't go through the Pentagon, it doesn't go through the CIA, it doesn't go through anything. It ends up in the hands of the weapons and the munitions manufacturing companies. And a lot of people...
Yeah, I was going to say that, like Goldman Sachs,
a lot of people
Tony Stark.
Yeah, it's channeled through Wall Street. I don't doubt that at all. But, we're dropping, thousands and thousands of bombs a day all over Africa, all over the Middle East. I mean, we're firing this crap off. And each one of these things, costs anywhere
Gaza Strip.
100,000 to 10 million apiece. And it doesn't take long to rack up. $1 trillion is 1,000 million. So you fire off 1,000 bombs in a week, and you've got $1,000 million bombs, and you spend $1 trillion.
Well, here's the thing. Here's another thing, Ted.
Real quick.
Real quick, man. We got to hit this break.
Yeah, we got to take a break. But I just want to let you know, again, when it comes to these major manufacturers of bombs and weapons, that's where a lot of that money went, because they're interested in new ways to kill people. And bombs and bullets and all that shit is getting old.
It still keeps going. And we're going to get into that here in the second hour, kids. That's for damn... Or wait, the third hour. Holy crap. There are other radio shows on, but you have chosen to tune in to the Friday Night Super Show. The Mouth.
Nah, man.
Chiming in, laughing and scratching and shit. I got Mr. Friday Night right here. And we also have the insight of one of the most brilliant minds that you motherfuckers ain't never heard, man. Apparently. Ted Jotte, man, is joining us. And we're going to fucking chime into a little bit of tunes. Got to do a little bit of promotion, man. I can only do that so much at this hour. You know, the bottle of whiskey is starting to sink in. Okay? This is the only real show that we're going to sit here and tell you, yep, we do some drinking. Sorry.
Yeah, and them motherfuckers lost $6.5 trillion. I'm pissed about it. I want to know where it's at. Where'd it go?
I know that you do. So, Ted, if you can hang out with us for a little bit, man, we're going to take about a 5-minute or so break, and we'll be back here, man. It's the Friday Night Super Show, kids. The #1 Friday night show that everybody wants to be a part of. There's some meat being discussed here. You want to be a part of it, grab a fork and start chewing on, man, because we'll be back here.
No, the #1 show in the world, not just Friday nights, the #1 show in the world when it comes to internet radio. Nobody
Say
comes
word.
close to what we do.
Say word.
I'm sorry to tell you the truth.
I'm the sweet guy about this stuff, man.
Well, be nice. You know what they say about nice guys? They finish last. But it takes a certain individual
Don't care.
to be at the top. And let me tell you, it's lonely at the top. And we'll be back here on the Friday Night Super Show.
Oh, shit, baby.
Pure shatter. I got my CBDs.
Yeah. Buy some shit.
Let them curse a sacred flower.
Like Fede Monsanto too.
You gotta take back your power. I traveled astrally indeed. Puffing on this stuff some people calling weed. Power to the people, fuck the stuff you heard. Get it straight now, they ain't fucking with my herbs. I see hit piece after hit piece, and they're eating it up like it's delectable. Man, it's a shit feast. The magnitude of malevolence is exceptional. The fact they think it's edible is utterly incredible. I find it indigestible. This reprehensible spectacle is a festival of ignorance, unethical. Poisoning you under the cover of protecting you from birth. For what it's worth, they're Pantone injecting you with a plethora of carcinogenic chemicals while looking down their nose at you, telling you that it's medical. These days, it pays to be skeptical about every single thing that comes out their receptacle. They love to shoot formaldehyde into your baby, then come lock you up just for selling fresh organic vegetables. This shit is way beyond belief. They've demonized another leaf, and it is unacceptable. I traveled astrally indeed. That's what it makes you do. Puffing on this stuff some people calling weed. And let you know it's true. Power to the people. Fuck the stuff you heard. All that shit is fake. Get it straight now. They ain't fucking with my herbs. I'm talking to all the snakes. It makes me so sad to see these poor people falling for the okie doke. They think that it's a jokey joke until they yelling holy smoke. What they've been calling a weed's the sure answer. Cannabis does indeed cure cancer. They've legalized it, but I gotta let you know. Beware of Harry Anslinger 2.0. Another type of prohibition's happening real slow. Gradually, only corporations will be allowed to grow. That means people like Monsanto. And once it's genetically modified, how will you know? And if they stick some labels on it, will you be a believer? Is your kosher cushion indica? Is your super skunker sativa? They don't care about some people smoking marijuana. They want cannabis concentrates, persona non grata. These jokers take over your weed, it guarantees your sadness. It'll really do that shit you saw on Reefer Madness. Astrally indeed, that's what it makes you do. Puffing on this stuff some people calling weed. And let you know it's true. Power to the people. you heard. All that shit is fake. Get it straight now. They ain't fucking with my earth. That's when they make a big mistake.
Populous intoxicated. Populous intoxicated. Populous intoxicated like never before. Populous intoxicated. Populous intoxicated. Populous intoxicated like never before. Populous intoxicated.
Hey, hang on, you guys. I'll be right back.
The question is, how will you react to it all, to the violence? How will you deal with your differences? Can the bad habits and brute forces of yesterday break your will?
Sure, I might offend a few of the blue noses with my cocky stride and musky odors. Oh, I'll never be the darling of the so-called city fathers who cluck their tongues, stroke their beards, and talk about what's to be done with it.
Friday Night Super Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here, the third hour, the only station that does 3 hours uninterrupted. That's right, only by ourselves. The Friday Night Super Show right here on the Last Voice for Liberty Network. I'm the mouth laughing and scratching at you. We've got Dennis Ford. We've got Ted Jotte. Everybody's here on the show, man. You want to be here. Kent is messaging me. We might get him in this final hour. You never know how chaotic it's going to be. Boys, we've had a very righteous discussion about the dissolution of the Republic.
No, I got something to
Any
do
more
right here to
thoughts
send
on
us
that?
off. I got to send this off in the third hour correctly. So, all people in radio land, don't you dare be sour. Clap for your world famous tag team champs of talk radio and feel
the power. Yeah, that's right, baby. The Friday Night Super Show in full effect. We've got the brilliant mind of Ted Jotte chiming in with us in the full 3 hours, man. We've never been able to do this before with Ted, and I feel really great about doing it.
Yeah, like I said, I was in good spirits tonight. It wasn't about the Friday Night Super Show. It's just, I was thinking about the show the other night, and I was like, you know what, Ted's going to be on the show. That's going to be amazing, and made me be positive on a Friday, and that's very rare, because every day I'm pretty much being sour. But don't you dare be sour, because like I said, tonight's show is a very important show. Like I said, it reminds me of why I got into why I do radio and why we are here tonight. But, it is what it is.
No, we get great minds that every now and then he contradicts a lot of what we say, but hey, we're what they call extremists, ladies and gentlemen, because
the energy that we share, it's just like we're connecting. If you plug something in the wall, that's kind of how we're connecting on the level of what we bring to people. And like I said earlier, you're not really going to get this anywhere else on Friday nights. And it's not because I'm Dennis Ford and I'm probably the best person that's ever done radio in the history of human existence.
No, it's because I'm Leap Year and I have the largest penis of everybody that's done radio and human existence.
We got friends amongst us, and if anybody wants to call in, you're more than welcome. But we're going to talk our shit at least for another half hour. I know that for sure. So, welcome back.
That's going to happen, man. And we've got Ted Jotte here, ladies and gentlemen, who is a brilliant mind, always has a great insight. Like I said, part of the Democratic Party for a good number of years. Ted, how many?
Well, I was actively involved with a U.S. congressman for 9 years.
Shit,
I was
kids.
a Democrat up until about 1985, so I was probably 35, 36 years old when I dropped out of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, when OJ killed his wife and that other dude, right about that time?
No, dude, that was in the 90s, man.
When I finally figured out what the Democratic Party really was and who had infiltrated them, it was the time that I left it. Oh, believe me, my peers in the party tried to get me into politics for many years. They wanted me to run so bad. I had a great uncle that I worked with in the insurance business at the time. My great uncle was the congressman's district secretary, and they tried to get me into politics. And I wasn't.
Yeah, I'm sure you can bullshit people, Ted. I'm just going off on a little bit, but I'm pretty sure you can sell somebody ketchup if they're wearing a white
that's
shirt.
just something that.
Sure
Wait a minute, just because a lot of the new listeners haven't been privy to previous conversations that we've had with Ted, man, and Ted had the opportunity to take that dollar and roll along with it, but wait, there's another person in this world that has virtue and has integrity and has that wherewithal within themselves to sit there and go, you know what? I can't support that because it ain't right. And that's why we love Ted Jotte.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Lee. Just give me a second here. I'm just saying, me being involved in politics, I'm very good at bullshitting people. And when it comes to politics, you can't bullshit a bullshitter, and that's what I get from Ted and, Lee and some other people. But if you want me to play that game, I'll run for president in 2020, and I'll change the game. I'll be the best president there's ever been, but they'll kill me, too. Guess what?
All right, if you run for president, then I'll be your vice president. They'll never kill you.
I don't care.
No,
I'll
wait.
run by myself.
Dude, they'll never kill you. They'll be like, oh, no,
saying.
wait. We don't want this drunk motherfucker in charge. God damn.
I'm just saying, anything is better than what we have right now, and that's the ideology that a lot of people have right now in society. They're like, anything is better than Hillary, but anything
well,
is better than
to
Trump.
be quite honest, dude,
you already lose when you think like that.
If I were still a statesman, I would say leap here for president because, I'm a pompous prick and I love myself that much. Dennis Ford's my vice president, and then who's my cabinet? Ted Jotte.
No, I mean, I could be like Hillary Clinton.
Who else, sir? No, Ted Jotte. That's all I need. Thank you very much.
I'm saying, before Ted even gives his expertise on this subject, I'm just saying, if I was a politician, I would stay free of these politicians like Hillary. She's the role model of what the shadow government, the New World Order, the Illuminati, the Bilderberg Group, the Bohemian Grove, whatever you want to call it, that's essentially what they want.
That's how you know that Mr. Friday Night is being nice tonight, because he just pretty much generalized the one word cunt. Because that's what Hillary Clinton is.
She's perfect for the role. And her and Donald Trump are actually friends behind the scenes. It's like professional wrestling. They're like, oh, I'm going to kick your ass on TV.
She sucks his schlong.
TV, we're friends.
After the debate, she sucks his schlong. I'm pretty sure.
Whatever. Grab by the pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Which dictator do you want to elect?
Yeah, which slave master you want?
Yes.
What do you want?
We've got two dictators, each with a different flavor. Each have their own ideological perception of how much control and power they want to keep and oppress the people. That neither one of them are the least bit interested in restoring the government by the people.
No, not at all. And we already had this. Ted. We had this 8 years ago with Obama, and look, he got 2 terms. That's how fucking stupid people are in America.
He's got a point there, Ted, because you and I and Dennis have been talking about this for several years, the same thing over and over again, and the horrible part about it is that we're right.
Yeah, it sucks.
And
I wish I wasn't right, but
more and more people keep coming around to that, and I really like that they're coming around to it on their own, as opposed to us just shoving it down their throats. But to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear it right here on the Friday Night Super Show. We've been saying this for several years now, and this can be documented.
Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. The last 16 years, because I wasn't even talking about the idiot Bush that went through Yale and his daddy was president, so he was president.
Wait, you're 16 years old?
The last 16 years have not been fun. I don't give a fuck who you are, where you come from. This shit is not fun. It's right in front of your face, and you're laughing like everything's fine, and you're looking at your fucking phone, being a zombie and shit. That shit's getting old. When are you going to change? When are you going to do something with your fucking life? What are you going to do? Instead of being like every fucking body else. And that shit is getting old, stale. Just like the election this year. They're like, oh, here's 4 years coming up. We got to switch it up for people. We got to make it interesting. I don't give a fuck who is fucking president. I already know what's coming. Been there, done that. What's wrong with everybody else in society? What's wrong with these people, man?
That's something that I can't even surmise.
Like
Ted,
I said, they lost $6.5 trillion of your taxpayer money, and you're more concerned about Donald Trump grabbing somebody in the pussy 11 years ago. What's going on in your mind?
No, that was 30 years ago.
Whatever. Donald Trump is a billionaire. Trust me, he's fucked a lot of bitches. You know what I'm saying? You got that kind of money. You got to beat him off with a stick and shit.
Dude, he's got
how much money makes
that's the worst. Hang on, man. That's the worst part. Before we bring in Spent Kent here, that's the worst part about what I see every day when I get up to check the weather on the goddamn local news and all that other crap. Is I get to get indoctrinated. I get to get messaged in with this mainstream media sitting here telling me, well, Donald Trump's a bad guy and Hillary Clinton's all great. And I'm sitting here going, aren't you all lying? Wait, no. They are all lying. Every single minute that they speak, if their mouths are open, if you turn on CBS, if you turn on ABC, if you turn on motherfucking NBC, CNN, Fox News, all that crap, they've already got their script written out. What they want to tell you, what they want you to believe, man. Don't buy into that. Start doing your own fucking. Come on. Yeah, I know. Give me a fucking second to rant, for Christ's sakes, on my own show.
Oh, Lee, just enjoy yourself. Lee, don't get so aggravated.
No, I'm that fucking aggravated already. Yourself. Jesus.
Let's entertain each other. But go ahead, finish, please. This is why I love this show, because
all I'm saying is please research it. You don't have to rely on stupid drunken me or Mr. Friday Night in a Rage or Ted Jotte or anybody else. You can look this shit up for yourself. You can do your own research. And god damn it, it's not that fucking hard. It takes 10 minutes. 10 minutes out of your life. 10 minutes out of your life to look up some things. And, well, believe me, it will end up taking 20 and 30 and 40 minutes. Because if you really want to get interested in just how bad you're being fucked over each and every day, kids, you really might want to learn acts and statutes, which aren't law. Thank you very much, Ed.
Lee, hold on a second. The government didn't even put
walking that fine line, dude.
They decided to fuck you before you were even born. So don't ask me for any lube.
Oh, yeah.
You raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw.
You don't think you're getting fucked since you were born? Check out your birth certificate. Why do you think it has a serial number?
They didn't even have the common courtesy to make sure everything was fine before they started fucking you. They just started fucking you since you were born. That should piss you off. That should be...
Oh, and then when you're born, they've already got your parents indoctrinated to believe in one form of government or another, and they've also got your parents indoctrinated to believe in one form of religion or another. So you just get put into that situation no matter what you do. And no matter what you can get to 10 years of age and go, wait a minute, what the fuck? You know, and you turn to your parents and question them, and they don't have any answers for you.
Exactly. Think about that for a second, because kids that are not growing up in the United States of America, I just want to point this out. You know, us growing up in America is one thing. We grew up, we were bred to be patriotic, we're bred to be Christian or Catholic or whatever it may be, but in other countries, you know, just imagine that. Like, you're growing up, you're like, this is just the way shit is, and this is the religion we need to follow, and it's all hate, it's all destruction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just breeds negativity, and people are like, this is love. This is
what
we perceive as love as humans throughout the world, but look how fucked up it is. The United States is one thing.
It is
but
right.
Religion, government, and money are a big problem. Guns, you know, there's a whole other show we can do about all this shit.
Well, it isn't right to even follow along with the doctrine of religion. I mean, have that contact with God. A lot of people sit here and think that I don't believe in God and this atheist prick. No, I absolutely do believe in God. I have a great relationship with the fucker right now.
That's not the point, though, Lee. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if you were brought up.
Not everybody does, man.
imagine you were brought up, your parents were like, hey, this is our religion, we're going to raise our children in that religion, and that's kind of destructive when you think about it, because look at the religions that people are teaching their children. And I'm not talking about Christianity, I'm talking about all the religions throughout the world.
As a father for it, sometimes the hardest part about raising children is letting them be their own people.
And explaining government to them. Hey, little Johnny, you got to go to school tomorrow. Why I got to go to school? Why I got to get indoctrinated? Obey. It's a control.
Ladies and gentlemen, Spent Kent on the Friday Night Super Show.
And that's what religion and statism and all ultimately is. Obey, obey, obey. You play by these rules, you get rewarded. If you don't, you get scolded. It's been that way.
So that's statism and religion, no matter what, man. Ted, am I wrong?
Government is a religion, but Ken, I want to get your viewpoint on this, because when it comes to alternative news media or activism, you get groups like Anonymous, and I know you support that. You know, you're involved in that. I am as well, to a certain extent. But guess what? I don't need Anonymous, Ken. I don't need Anonymous. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
but some people do. They need Anonymous.
Start with that.
You know, they need the mask. Like on Halloween, they're going to dress up like Guy Fawkes, and they're going to V for Vendetta. You're following a script that has already been written out, probably by the CIA, that has infiltrated Occupy Wall Street, Anonymous. I mean, I could go on and on and on all fucking day.
Anonymous, I mean, I say this a lot. One of the things I stick with.
But Anonymous is a religion to a lot of people, is my point.
Yeah, it is. And once you got your group with you, your people you can trust, that's why you got to stick with your own group, your own sector or whatever. And you got people you can trust, and you're.
You know that's the downfall. That's
Kent. They don't know the shit that we were talking about tonight, what you guys talk about every Friday. They don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. They just like the mask and they want to run around and do this shit. Those guys make me sick, and there's a whole bunch of them.
There's a fucking plethora.
They need to listen to the Friday Night Super Show. But the guys that are doing this, they're doing the good work. There's a group of them, and I hate to say it, I think it's a small group, really, in Anonymous, that does good shit. They go out and feed the homeless. They do all this stuff. And I'm not going to name names, but I know who they are. They're good people. But
I know a few.
I stick with a tight group. And I don't try to expand anymore now. I've learned that lesson in the 2 years I've been rolling with them. So, but I mean,
that is why you failed, motherfucker. God damn it, Ken. How many times do I have to tell you? That is why you fail. You got to keep on keeping on, man. Bring the new ones in, man. You can't let a few sour grapes spoil the whole bunch. And I know that sounds fucking repetitive and stupid, but
don't be like me, my brother. But I'm here to let you know that eventually, in your progress of what you were doing, I know you're older than probably me and probably Lee Pierce combined.
I got years on Lee.
But I'm
just
saying,
a couple.
I'm just saying, you know, eventually, you know what I'm saying, we all hit these milestones in what we are doing, and we're like, you know what, I'm going to either get down with the program or, I'm going to keep moving, and that's what I've been doing. Anonymous is, you know, the Million Mask March is coming up next month. And for me, you know, this is 5 years, Kent. This is 5 years. And when nobody knew about the march, before they had a group page on Facebook, an event page, guess who had John Fairhurst on his show?
Oh,
Dennis
yeah.
Ford did. I started that.
Been a part of this show many, many, many times.
Many years ago.
Even as mad as he's ever been at you, Dennis, and Dennis can bring that out in people, but he's still been a part of the show, still shared the show, still been respectful of the show.
I was really skeptical about it, but I was lucky enough to run into Fairhurst and several others. I want to start naming names, but since we brought up John, so
Steve Grant was there.
Once all them guys meet me, then they'll know how to drink. That's all I can say.
But since then, you know, I met a whole lot of people, and then I seen a whole lot of people.
Come this year. Come this year, Kent. Me, you, leave here. We're going to go to D.C. on November 5th. How about that?
Hell yeah.
Let's do that. I'm not wearing a mask because I don't need a fucking mask.
Why do we got to go there on November 5th, man? That's when all the other fucking sheep would go there. Let's go there.
It doesn't matter. It
later.
doesn't matter. See what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. But at the time when I was beginning my origin story, I was very invested and very interested in Million Mask March until I was like, wow, Anonymous is taking over DC. And like the first year, it was like,
well, you're in driving distance of that, dude. It takes a little bit.
You know why I never went? Because I don't like Washington, D.C.
No, you
Washington,
went.
D.C. smells
Fuck
like
you.
a toilet. It smells like a shit-infested toilet that is overflowing. Don't ever go to Washington, D.C.
I used to work in D.C. for years and years when I lived up that way. I've been in all those buildings. I used to work for an office furniture company. You put the office furniture together.
Oh,
I've been in the CIA. Like I told
so
you.
You like the smell of poop?
I've been in the CIA. I've been in the FBI building. I've been in all these buildings. I've been in the Pentagon. I've been under the Pentagon putting furniture together. I've been in Site R, the mountain. I had clearance to go in all these places like 15 years ago. But and I remember sweating through traffic. I was in a Camaro, long-haired motherfucker,
man.
I hated it. Getting in all that traffic. But when I went to the march 2 years ago and we just took over the whole street and that was empowering. I just loved it. It was a blast.
That was pre-scheduled, right?
The Mask March isn't a failure, but I just want to let people know. You know what I'm saying?
It's pre-scheduled.
What you're doing.
They get permission to do that. You know that, right?
Yeah, it does. There's going to be a lot of people on Facebook that I've been friends with for years that are going to be at the march this year. And if I show up, they're going to be like, oh, shit. There's a guy.
Shit, if you and me show up, goddamn.
He's a celebrity. He's famous on Facebook.
I just hope I show up. That's that Span Cat motherfucker, man. Let's go give him a hard time.
I'm going to show up dressed like Deadpool and start cutting people up and shit,
Shit.
And I got a lot of good friends up there, that, like I said, I hang with a small group that I trust.
Well, where are you located at? I don't want you to give away too much information, but where are you located?
Cat's in Florida, man.
Yeah, I'm down here in New Smyrna, man. I just got I was in the hood, man. I got a fucking fallen
Tori, he's a man's man. A man's man. Seriously.
You're a man's man. You're a man's man.
Already knows who the fuck I am. They know where I'm at. I don't give a fuck. I wear a fucking custom mask. I stayed out like a sore thumb. It's not like
the reason they don't fuck with you is because you live in Florida. Florida sucks. That's why they never come down there. Because Florida is horrible
down here, man.
No,
you got all the crazy
just got right, man.
They were worried about is Span Cat. He fucking talks dick and fart jokes and dicks around on the Friday night Super Show, I guess, right?
This is true.
Before we go any further, Ted, you got any thoughts? I know we still got Ted Jotte.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still here, man. I'm still here. How you doing?
All right, Ted. You got any thoughts on all the shit we were just talking about for the last 10 minutes? Whatever that was.
Hey, I tell you what, I'm all for Anonymous. I think Anonymous is doing some pretty great things out there, and I'll tell you what, it's a hell of a lot bigger than people realize.
Well, do you think it's infiltrated, Ted? Do you think Anonymous has been infiltrated just like Occupy Wall Street, Alex Jones, Mark Dyer?
Everything
we are
is
changed.
Infiltrated. Everything is infiltrated.
Word.
There's nothing out there that's not infiltrated.
Yep.
That's the least of my worries.
Thank you, Ted.
Right.
But,
yeah, that's why I say I with a small group. I just stick with people I trust, and we do our own thing. My brand is Rough Sex, so I represent Rough Sex. So,
Ted, wait a minute, Kent. Ted's got a great point, man. We keep separating ourselves, man. Why?
Well, Lee, I mean...
What's wrong with freedom, man?
Hold on a second. You call yourself an anarchist, right? I'm not an anarchist.
What's wrong with freedom?
I understand what's going on.
What's wrong with freedom?
I'm not anonymous. I'm not any of that.
What's wrong with freedom? What's wrong with freedom?
What label you want to put on me today? Because me having a name is enough for me. That pisses me off enough. So
dude, you're a total dick. I know. That's why I, totally wanted to do a show with you. But
the only label I like, honest. That's the label I like most of anything. Is it's just okay. He's honest. You know, Spankin's honest. That's the label. I'll take that label any day. You know, and that's about it. I do hate labels too. So,
no, I mean not even being honest, but just telling the truth. Being honest, telling the truth. That's what everybody wants.
You know, the
right?
worst
Just
part
telling the
about
truth.
this whole dichotomy is that, I'll sit here and tell the truth all day. But Dennis Ford, God bless him, man. If he gets out there and tells the fucking truth to anybody, then
I've been trying.
what's wrong
But
with
that's what I'm saying,
Dennis?
Leaf here. I don't really
What's
consider
the
you an
matter with
anarchist.
Dennis? What's he doing?
No, I
Wait
don't
a minute.
consider you an anarchist,
What?
Leaf here. I consider you the mouth, Leaf here.
Oh, I
Your
am
own
an
entity.
anarchist.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
make
Your
no
own thing.
apologies for it.
I know Leaf here is not part of any group, you know what I'm saying? Let alone this network, the Last Voices for Liberty. That's Leaf here.
Yeah,
Leaf
that's
here
me,
created that.
kids.
Nobody else did, but Lee did, and that's what he's doing.
Not all the
Being original.
labels believe in liberty, then that's saying that's enough to be said as alone. You can say anarchist or voluntarist or whatever label you want to put. If you believe in self-ownership and the non-aggression principle, that's what really matters. You understand? That's how you fix the system.
Yeah, you don't even have to fucking believe in the non-aggression principle, man.
And then from there, we're all the peasants at the bottom, man. And you know what? We are the 99%, though. and when the rest of the 99%,
No, we're the 12% that actually give a fuck. And back in the day, it was 3% that could literally take it over, man. But dude, you need way more than the 3%. Ted, you know what I'm talking about, man. Ted Jotte is like one of the people, and yeah, I'm drunk. Fuck you. They're one of the one persons in this entire world that I can identify with when we actually sit here and talk about the demise of
those 2 hours flew
America.
by, 2 hours flew by because you were talking to Ted Jotte.
Ted, am I wrong? The degradation of our country as Americans has gone completely to fucktown. And ain't none of us got a ticket for a boat, right?
America is a country in duress. There's no question about that. And a lot of this has been self-inflicted. The apathetic phenomena that's been going on in this country since the 1960s has just been destructive as hell.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a major player in why the government has been able to do what they're doing right now. The infiltration of our federal government would have never happened had the American people not been so apathetic and just
bingo.
give a shit. Yeah,
Where's my $300?
That's 90% of the problem right there. I will say this: that's turning around. Half of the people in this country realize they screwed up royally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ted, real quick. Okay, again, the last 8 years, Obama, right? How's that hope and change working out for you? How's that working out? I'm interested. How's that working?
What you've seen.
And guess what, Ted? Hold on.
Ted,
all those black voters that turned out and voted for the first black president, guess what? They're not going to vote coming up.
Well, yeah, because they're in jail. But Ted.
Well, either way, don't vote at all. Stay home. Stay your stupid ass at home. Don't go out and vote. Don't even contribute to it. Don't feed the monster. Don't feed the monkey. Just stay home.
Yep.
But
thank you.
The machine. Rage against it.
Yeah. That's my opinion. Ted, do you plan on voting? Are you going to write in Dennis Ford when you go to vote?
I'm not going to vote for any of the idiots up there.
No, dude, you got to vote for me. It might as well be
what happened
me.
to D's nuts? I mean, he was winning for a while, you know?
Yeah, they disqualified him because he was 14 fucking years old, man.
Yeah, but could you imagine a big nutsack on stage debating Hillary or Donald Trump? That would be hilarious.
I can do that. I am lawfully entitled to, run for president.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I can run. You know.
Oh,
What do you have to
wait.
be over 30 years old or something? Isn't there a minimum?
35, I think.
35 as a natural born citizen, of course, unless you know certain people in the Democratic Party. Then
Well, we had Jesse Ventura in the first hour, and he can't even run. So imagine that. You know, he can't even get Howard Stern to run with him. So
you'll have that.
And he was a governor. You know.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. We need to get some.
We have millions of dead people voting this time, so they're discovering those all over the country now.
Well, here's the point, right? Are you really interested or invested in the next 4 years? Because I'm not. I just see more shit. And
Same shit for a year.
All right, well, then here comes up the last question, and we'll give you some last thoughts. Ben Kent, man. Hey, do you really see anything changing for the positive in this near future? If not, give us your commentary.
Get the rest of these motherfuckers to wake up. You know, get this 99% to wake up. I say I don't go to the march to go up and knock on the door of the government and say, "Hey, I'm here. Do you recognize me?" No, that's giving them authority over me. That's not why I do it. I'd rather get to the tourists that are running around taking pictures of Spank Kent's fat ass with his fucking long hair and his crazy red Matrix mask. So I'd rather have them saying, "Hey, what's this guy about?" and then educate them. That's why I'm there. I want to educate people. I want to wake people up. I engage with Republicans, Democrats, people that are not in the movement, even people in the movement, to understand what the head of the snake is. Big question number one. Once you can figure out then you figure out, okay, the whole system's corrupt, and what do you replace it with? More government with more government? Cancer with more cancer?
Bang!
You right. And self-ownership, non-aggression principle. Once everybody gets that, the world can change. But till then, I'll be long dead and gone. I just see we have to wake people up. You were talking about how many years you got, Lee. I probably got less than you, bro. So,
shut the fuck up, dude. You can't be as hard as I am.
And what I do is I really engage with people that are 80, 70 years old. I was talking to my 70-year-old neighbor. She's an anarchist. She didn't even know it. You know, she's not going to vote this time around. I was proud of you. You know, people are not in the movement, you know, that are Republicans, Democrats, or whatever. You know, that's what I do more than anything. It's just get people to think and then educate them. That's what I do. I'm not the best boots on the ground. You know, I'm not I was out there feeding the homeless and do all this.
You don't have to be, man. How many times have I told you you don't have to be
there?
there?
That's what we all have to do. That's the bottom line. The biggest fight we have is to wake other people up because everybody's distracted. And everybody's picking up the newspaper or turning on the Fox News or CNBC or MSNBC.
Hey, man, you ain't got to be the biggest dog in the yard. You just got to bark loud. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm saying, Kent. Like I said, Kent, everybody on this phone line, we're kind of like key makers. We just give people keys, and it's up to them to use it. You got to open the door. I'm not going to open it for you. You got to do that.
That's exactly right.
Well, we ain't trying to play. Go ahead, Ted.
You will not change. You won't change anything by electing these people. You will change things by changing the situation.
Say a word.
You nailed it right there on the head, Doug.
No, thanks, man. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, you can protest the government all you want. The government don't give a fuck. They're going to just sit there and laugh at Spank Kent running around with a mask. It's the people that are looking at me taking pictures. You know, they're on the sidewalks. I mean, get off the sidewalk, get in the street, march with me. I'll teach you something.
Hey, Kent.
And guess what? You don't need a mask.
Hold on a second. I got a question for Kent here before he gets out of the show here tonight. Who introduced you to Payday Monsanto's music?
Well, that was obviously you guys. Well, especially you, because you were promoting, you know, and then got...
No, it's me. Dennis Ford never existed. You should never...
Yeah, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't know about Payday Monsanto. And here's an interesting thing before we get out of here tonight, not to stroke his ego anymore.
Ah, for fuck's sakes.
But Ted Jotte, right? I was talking to Ted the other night, and Ted was like, "Oh, I thought this was, you know, a group of people," and I was like, "No, it's one guy doing everything."
Yeah, that blew me away, man.
One
guy. That guy's pretty cool, man.
It's not a band. It's not a group of people. It's one guy making music, doing what he does, and that's incredible. You know, that's
I mean, I kind of do this.
My
music ain't as good, and I've got shittier equipment than him.
Yeah, hey, Ted, he's a good guy, man.
I'm just saying. Think
Maybe
about
when
it,
he was on here, he rock with me. Let's do something. I just got to get something going. So
that's what I mean. I'm sure you're familiar with guitars or drums, but Payday Monsanto is pound for pound probably the best artist of our generation. At least people my age.
Not yet.
I'm blessed to have his music. You know what I'm saying? And
Not
if he
yet.
quit making music, we're in trouble. We're all in trouble.
No, we haven't been able to make music with him yet, so he's not yet the greatest.
But we're going to meet up. You know, things are changing. There's things in the works that are, you know, why we all set out to do what we do.
If there's one thing that I'm going to accomplish with my life is that I'm going to do hallucinogenics with Payday.
Spend a day with Payday Monsanto.
That's going to happen.
Is he going to D.C.?
No,
I don't give no fucks.
He's ever been to the Million Mask March, but if the Million Mask March could get a live performance from Payday Monsanto, do you know how many fucking people would turn out for that march?
Basically what I'm saying, the night before, you know, you guys are talking about Ferris, he's got a thing going on in a bar where I think PTP's going to be there, maybe Steve.
Yeah, I know about that.
Payday, but guess what? Guess who's the best verse on that song, Payday Monsanto? I'm sorry.
Shut up, shit, no shit.
Perform, that's all I'm saying. You know,
Payday is better than both of them, and if he performs live, I'll be there. But if not, I'm not showing up to the march. Sorry.
No, the fuck you ain't, man. Shit.
That's what I'm talking.
You're being a fucking naysayer, man.
Fuck you! You fucking dick! Always naysaying! Everything I create! You piece of shit! You create something! Like inward singing! You fucking shit! You fucking sit in your
I'm serious.
tower!
That's the truth.
You fucking nap!
If you want to
What's
study
funny?
your history, Steve Grant was sending me his videos back in 2012, and I was like, why is he keep sending me this shit? Then I listened to it, and I sent him to Fairhurst, and then you get the Million Mask March, Steve Grant performing live with PTP. Oh, later on in 2016, they have a song with Payday Monsanto. Guess who made that happen? That was Dennis Ford.
Yeah.
Bitches.
I know that.
All right, so don't get me started here tonight about who's important into what we do. And don't put a label on me. I'm not anonymous. I'm not any of that shit. I just, again, carve my own lane. And if anybody can follow me, please do. Pick up the ball. Grow some balls. Pretty much. Like
balls.
we said earlier. Grow some balls.
Grow
what are you doing with your life?
Stop being a little bitch.
And if you can do better than I'm doing, I'm not talking about
Just
Lee
saying.
Peter. I'm talking about me as Dennis Ford. If you can do better than I have done for the last 5 years, please show me or prove me wrong.
Do better than I am.
Shut the
Please.
fuck up. I don't got nothing to talk to you about.
Please.
Period.
By all means, do better than any of us have ever done. Please. Please. Please take that mantle. Run with it. So we can, sit back and go back to regular jobs as supporting our family and all that other crap. Please, take the burden off our shoulders. I fucking dare you.
If you can.
I dare you.
Not to mention Elias Clay.
Just saying.
Not to mention Elias Clay. Elias Clay has worked with Payday Monsanto. There's a bunch of other people that I've unfriended over the years, but I've kind of...
Yeah, there's a bunch of other people that fucking are just a bunch of fucking bitches. And that's...
No, I'm saying nobody can really do what Dennis Ford has done, and if you can do it, if you think you're better at social media or radio shows, you know, me and Lee Peer go back and forth about this all the time because Lee Peer is monumental. You know, he's in the Mount
I'm a
Rushmore
fucking dick,
of
dude.
internet fucking radio. All right? But guess who else is there? I'm in the four. You know, I'm there because I've done more shit than most people.
I'm a dick. I've had my dick in more vaginas during airtime than fucking...
Like I said, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I just want to let people understand the history of what they're involved in. You know, I don't forget that. I understand everything I've been doing. And like I said, when it comes to Ted, when it comes to Payday Monsanto, Steve Grant, PTP, Elias Clay, a Ghost Rider, AJ Smith, whoever it is. Guess what? I've already been there, done that, moved on.
Well,
They're trying to find new shit.
If you want to see me get serious, I do have to announce this, man.
5 years, Leap here.
November 7th.
Years.
November 7th, the last Voice for Liberty show is coming back on Monday night.
Yeah, the major announcement. Can we get into that? Can you let everybody know what's really going on? Because we didn't really get into that in the second hour. But
November 7th, it is a Monday night. It is next month. And yes, the last Voice for Liberty show is coming up. But yeah, not that drunk, not that crazy, but no, yeah, that crazy, just not that drunk. Sorry. I know you hope for something better, something that would invigorate your constitutional beliefs, but sorry, kids, I only have reality for you, man. Boys, take it for a minute, man. I gotta rock the piss. Oh, the last Voice for Liberty is coming back.
First week in November.
No, it's November 7th. It's actually going to be this second week in November.
All right, well, either way. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm really hoping to spend that weekend beforehand with Dennis Ford, so just so everybody knows. But
no, I'm not going to be a part of that show, but I want to let people know.
Oh,
again,
no,
like I said,
you're totally going to be a part of that show,
going
bitch.
on the radio.
What the fuck?
Where do I start? A long time ago, I found Lee Peer doing his last Voice for Liberty on Monday nights. And guess what, ladies and
Say word.
that shit is coming back. And also, not to, again, talk about me, but my show is coming back on NWO Truth Radio. And
The Dennis Ford show.
Radio is growing. And that reminds me, again, when it comes to Payday Monsanto, Ted Jotte, Rachel McIntyre, Marie Heller, Jack Blood, all the people that have worked with us over the last 5 years to get where we are. And that's what I'm saying. People don't study history. You don't really know who Lee Peer is or who Dennis Ford is unless you've been checking out this show for the last 5 years. And if you're new to the show, we welcome you, but we're going to piss you off. There's going to be some shit where you're going to be like, wait a minute, I'm going to turn this shit off. I'll check it out tomorrow. That's fine. But guess what? We're going to be here next Friday doing the same fucking thing. So I'm sorry about that, but essentially that's what it is. And I don't have any labels. Like I said, I'm here to change the landscape. I'm here to change what people's perception of what somebody should be doing in internet talk radio. Because that's what I was put here to do. And if you're not here to do that, then you need to get out of internet radio and retire, bitch.
Well, the only thing that I can say is every time that you think you have the answers, we change the fucking questions. And that's for sure.
Change the questions. Nobody does the hot rod as good as Stan Kent, but go ahead.
That's right. And there's a show going on right now on Friday night. But I can guarantee you, when it comes to Friday night, it
Man, shut the fuck up about that bullshit.
Do a show on Friday. But to make full circle, Lee Peer was doing a show called The Last Voice for Liberty, and that's where you're at tonight. It is the Friday Night Super Show, but it also is The Last Voice for Liberty, because that show will never die. It was something Lee Peer created on his own, with nobody's help but his own. So you got to respect that.
It's still going to happen. It's still happening. Like I said, November 7th. We're bringing back the Last Voice for Liberty show on Monday nights.
Well, who's your co-host? It's not going to be me, so who are you picking up? Who's going to help you out?
Wait. Did I need a co-host?
You don't need a co-host, because I remember listening to you for 3 hours on your own, Lee Peer.
Good, then that means I can still do it.
By yourself.
Awesome.
But I'm just interested. I mean, who are you thinking about as a co-host or a guest?
Everybody can be a co-host each and every week. I'm going to do what I'm going to do every Monday night, and you can either be a part of it, or you can, catch a train fuck off, Deville. I mean,
I'm always around. You guys ever want, whatever you all are doing, anytime you want to spend Kent, just holler. I'm always here, man.
Well, you're one of the
That'll
few
work.
people
And,
that has the guest line and can be able to call into these shows. I'm halfway there, kids, as
we're gonna get cut off,
bringing
so we
into
gotta-
new
get
call
cut off,
lines and all that. It costs money. And I'm not going to
We're gonna
ask
get
you
cut
fucking
off, so we
bitches
gotta
for any of
kind
it.
of like end everything. Final thoughts. We were getting into final thoughts, but if we can get Ted's final thoughts before we get out of here tonight, that's essentially why I tuned in.
Oh, if Ted is still here and he's dealt with all our stupid drunkenness, God bless him.
Let Ted talk for about a good whatever. Let him talk, and I'm gonna shut up.
Holy shit, we do still have Ted Jotte.
Guys,
Ted, there you
I
are, man.
appreciate you having me on here. It's been way too long, and like we were saying before, and like Ken was saying, a lot of this is the fault of the people for letting this country get into the mess that it's in. It's when you caretake something, that is a responsibility, and responsibility has dwindled to the point in this country where people just don't give a shit about too much of anything.
Say a word.
All they care about is themselves and their TV shows and entertaining themselves and their phones and their iPads and their big screen TVs and their electronic gadgets and pushing buttons. People have to start caring again.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care who we elect. I don't care if we elect Clinton or Trump or Johnson or Alex Jones for president. It doesn't make any difference. It's not going to change a damn thing.
Word.
What is going to change things is to change the situation, change your attitude, change your outlook about things. And like Kent said, reserve yourself to fight this stuff from within and realize what we have. When you come to the point of realization and acceptance, and accept the fact that we have a corrupt shadow government that is totally controlling our entire governmental environment, that's when things are going to start to change. You're not going to change by electing a name, a face, a mouthpiece on television. You're not going to change a damn thing by doing that. You've got to change yourself. Change yourself, accept what we have, realize what we have, and then start your fight against it. That right there is 99% of the battle. Change yourself first. That's my parting thoughts.
There you go, man. Ladies and gentlemen, you only get it right here on the Friday Night Super Show.
Yeah, that was amazing.
With
and
the number one, Ted Jotte. Boys, let's get them final thoughts, man. We've only got about 90 seconds left, man.
No, I was just going to tell Ted and everybody on the phone line here tonight, everybody that joined us, knowing is half the battle. And in the information age, ignorance is a choice. You choose to be ignorant, and I can't help you. I can't show you where to go or give you secrets or keys to open doors. You have to find that for yourself. And that's pretty much all I have. But when it comes to elections and shit like that, that's entertainment. That's entertainment. Don't want to feel like you are important, but you're not.
But I know we'll meet again some sunny
That's exactly right. That's nailed it, man. No one person is going to change this corrupt ass system. There's no here, no feel to burn, no hope and change, none of that nonsense. It's all of us, and individually, got to change. Change your
get some balls. That's the whole message of tonight's show. Grow some balls. And if you can't do that, get out for it. Overtime, please. All right.
Move aside and let the real revolutionaries get to work, right?
Yeah, I mean, time is valuable. Time is money, but it's also valuable. And I don't have time to entertain or educate people. It's up to you. You have to pull that shit out of you, and I don't know how to tell you to do that, but that's what you need to do. And at least here, we got to get out of here tonight. So again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Friday Night Super Show. We'll be here next Friday. Believe that. We'll be here next Friday.
Baby.
The same shit. Again.
No matter what, and the last Voice for Liberty show is coming up every Monday starting November 7th. Man, we'll be there, man. We'll meet again, kids. For Ted Jotte, for Mr. Friday Night, for Spent Kent, for all of our friends, man. We love you, and we'll meet again. That's for sure. This is the Friday Night Super Show.
Don't know when,
bye. And we out.
but I know we'll meet again.